Get nasty here on a Monday afternoon. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, our guy Anthony out until Friday, I believe.
Playing hooky, eh?
He's got a little daddy daycare going on. Anthony, we missed you. We're with you, buddy.
We know you're listening.
Try not to give the kids too much Mountain Dew. You'll regret it, I promise you. All right, boys, how was your weekend?
Weekend was good.
Was it?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Awesome. I love those.
I went, Sunday I went to pick my daughter up, but Friday night, Saturday night, nothing. It's like the first time in maybe a month and a half where I've been at the house by myself, children elsewhere, and can just sit in the house, not out of town. It was awesome.
It's peaceful.
Oh, I got some cleaning done, fix some things around the house.
You know you're older when you start to say, I got some cleaning done. I got to organize a few things. I rearranged the pantry.
Yeah, that's a hell of a Friday and Saturday, isn't it?
Marshy, help us out here because you're the young, cool kid.
Yeah, you're probably going to love what I did. I did absolutely nothing, too, other than Saturday went out with my girlfriend, got a few drinks, got some ice cream at Clementine's down in Central West End. Great spot. So then I watched some hockey, watched some baseball this week, and it was a good weekend. Good low-key weekend.
Yeah, kind of the same here at the Rivers house, too. Was pretty chill. Nothing, too extraordinary. Went and saw the Inside Out 2 movie yesterday.
I heard it was really good.
Yeah, okay. I went there Ashley and I brought her two boys. They're of the age where those are the kind of movies I like. It was 3D, too. So we're sitting there 3D with those big chairs kicked back.
Yeah.
It was a really good movie.
I heard it was really good. I heard it was like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Take the kids to see it.
It's good when, I'm not really divulging anything. The young girl, the character, has these emotions inside of her, right?
Yeah.
It's good when the emotions have you feeling exactly the way they're supposed
to.
Awesome. That's all I'm going to say.
She's a hockey player, too.
She's a hockey player. So that was kind of fun to have that little correlation. You know what else is fun, boys?
What's that?
Cardinals winning, baby.
Yeah. 2 games above 500.
I actually couldn't wait to see your face today. One, you're a handsome devil.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You trimmed up the beard.
I did. Not
Carey,
down a little bit.
I did. I mean, you are looking tight
I
over
appreciate
there.
it. Trying to get back to myself, Yeah.
And that smile. That's a smile,
Thank
Carey.
you. Thank you.
That's what I've been missing.
I mean, the Cardinals did it to me. They brought on the angry, surly version of me with their poor play. And you sweep the Giants, you're 2 games above 500. I would have to say I'm feeling better. I'm still not there yet.
You're about 3 games away, 3 wins.
No, he'll move the goalpost.
That's true.
Well, no, you know what? If they keep going at this rate, then I'll feel better. But I think this is the first time this year they've been above 2 games above 500, which is phenomenal for them because it's been a struggle all season long. Sonny Gray was outstanding. If you can get that performance, you're not going to get, perfect game, no hit ball through 7, but if you can get a performance like that, similar to that, where you're keeping men off the bases, keeping guys, not walking guys, not allowing too many hits, I think you give yourself a chance to win. The only concern,
here comes.
Because
It's okay,
I learned
Carey.
about a crap sandwich. You give the good, you give the bad, and then you finish with the good. Okay, so I'm giving you the bad. When you got 4 guys in your lineup that played yesterday that are batting under 200, it's a bit of a concern for me. Well, actually, 4 guys started, 5 guys played that are batting under 200. My apologies. Bad math there.
Got way better.
That, to me, is not sustainable.
Yeah.
Now, that was the crap part of the sandwich. Let me finish it off with the good part.
Finish me off
Wilson
with the good
Contreras is on his way back. Hopefully, we can get something out of Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. You're playing well without, your 2 studs performing at their highest capability. So, all in all, crap sandwich is complete. Good, bad, good. We'll see what this series looks like. Going to the...
Yeah, that's going to be...
It's going to be a good series for these guys versus the Braves.
Yeah, that's the challenge right there.
Well, Marsh, what?
What's wrong with Marshy? What happened? Did he moan?
You didn't hear the sound he made?
Lance Lynn being on the mound tonight doesn't give me any reassurance to things are going to be great.
You're giving more crap.
It's okay. He'll be out of the game by the 3rd inning. So there'll still be time to catch up.
Jamie.
What?
That's not what we want.
No? You don't want him out of the game?
8 innings is why they were signed.
I will say,
Did
though,
you miss that part?
Well, I didn't, but apparently somebody did.
if this team hits the way they did yesterday, I think we're going to win this game.
Speaking of win, how about Mason Wynn, Alec Burleson? Those two guys.
The combination.
They're playing
Good combo.
They're playing like with a cheat code out there right now.
They are playing outstanding.
It's fun to watch, but honestly, guys, I didn't expect the sweep of the Giants. As much as the Giants aren't what they were a couple of years ago, still a pretty good baseball team.
Oh, yeah.
And the Cardinals, because of their up and down and all over the place this season, I thought, well, maybe we can get a series win. Maybe we can find a way to get the series win.
No, I don't want them.
You're looking for them, Carey.
I was looking for them. They were behind me.
Last time you put them on, they lost. Let's just not put those on.
I think somebody stole them. Anthony took them with him for 4 days.
They were back there. They're missing.
Well, either way, the Cardinals for me, Carey, you're right. So you talk about the good and then the crap in the middle. The crap for me is that you're just not getting enough out of guys that you need it from. It's one thing to have guys that are hitting under 200. Like, I don't expect Michael Ciani, Paez. I don't expect a lot from those guys. But I do expect a lot from Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. Now, Nolan Arenado is, on and off the IL here. Day to day with, he's got some soreness in his elbow and forearm and whatnot. And is following him getting hit by a pitch right before the Rickwood game. So the place where I go when I'm talking about Arenado and Goldie is like, how can you just not be getting substantial at-bats from these guys? Goldie touched seats, which is great, but Nolan Arenado, he just hasn't got that pop at all this year. So it worries me a little bit that some of the guys who are underperforming are also your 2 highest paid guys.
That's a bit of a concern.
It's a lot.
On the bright side, if you're going to say that, on the bright side, you're winning games.
But it's not sustainable, Carey.
I'm trying to be positive.
I don't think
Pete
it's sustainable.
Here. Positive that. Paul. Give me another.
What Paul?
I don't know.
What's wrong with Pete?
Peter. I don't know. I just feel like
Paul Goldschmidt.
And
Paul Gorman.
There you go.
Okay.
Positive Paul.
Well, I just thought Carey liked Peter better.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to keep a positive mindset on what the capabilities are if those two perform at the level that we are accustomed to seeing them play at.
Isn't that a great word?
It's a dangerous word.
It's terrible.
It's one of the worst words in the world.
Especially when we're talking about the Cardinals.
When you're talking about sports. If very rarely happens.
Well, I think on the flip side, though, you could say that they are playing better baseball, and those two guys haven't performed. So when they do perform,
that's what I said. Yeah.
When they do, no ifs. We're not using ifs. When they do perform, this team can be even better than what we're seeing right now.
We haven't seen it consistently yet, though, this year.
It's only June, right?
You know what?
It's only June. It'll soon be July.
It'll be August before we know it. It's only August 15th.
But you guys do bring up a good point, is that you are currently sitting in second place. You are in the second wild card spot, and you haven't been consistent, and your big boppers haven't really been there for you. And the bottom of your order feels almost like automatic outs. Not great.
At all.
But
concerning.
Wilson Contreras, fingers crossed, I believe he'll be in the lineup tonight in some capacity, probably in the DH role, I would imagine. So that's another bat that comes back to your lineup, and hopefully he can recapture where he was before he was injured. And if he can, that really helps you a lot.
It makes your team better. It makes your lineup better.
It extends your lineup.
It does, and it gives you an opportunity to score more runs. Again, as you said, the bottom of that lineup, though, it can be a bit of a concern. All right,
it's a lot.
It is. It's not really good. And if you're just going to give away 3 outs at the bottom of the lineup, that's going to be a problem at some point. And that's what I said earlier. The batters, the hitters that you have that are under 200 that have to play at this moment, Paez is going to play more than likely if Wilson is not able to be behind the plate. Dylan Carlson or Ciani is going to play in the outfield because you just don't got enough guys with Lars and Edman and Walker not here. Those are people that are not performing well enough at this moment. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all shakes out.
I will say, though, a guy like Paez, he contributes behind the plate.
He does.
So he is an important he's an important player for this roster. It might not be the same, hitting wise, but you talk about the bottom half of the order. Not last night, but yesterday, Brandon Crawford, a huge insurance run from his bat, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's a guy that we were sort of, I wouldn't say making fun of by any means, but Brandon Crawford, we were criticizing Brandon Crawford, but he's been a guy he's starting to come around.
He needed it.
He did. He really did.
Look at him now and look at him then.
Yeah, it's true.
He needed some help.
Yeah, he got himself together.
He didn't like getting fast lane.
No, and I will say, as much as I just talked, Dylan Carlson went 2 for 4. Brandon Crawford just talked about 1 for 3. Pi has 2 for 4 yesterday, but they're all still under 200.
Right.
And so for me, and then let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is Nolan Gorman. Are we gonna just pretend Paul Gorman? We're gonna pretend that this is the expectation?
Well, he's probably still going to get 25 to 30 home runs.
When? Well, he hit 10 in like a 2-week span, it felt like.
And that's what he is, though.
That's exactly
He's a
what he is.
2-week on, 2-week off guy.
That is so frustrating.
That's baseball.
It ain't. That's this baseball.
That's the difference.
That ain't the baseball I grew up
between guys like that and Hall of Famers. Hall of Famers are consistent.
Yeah.
And guys like Nolan Gorman, Kyle Schwarber, even those types of players are.
But I think even Kyle Schwarber gets on base. Like Nolan Gorman, I'm.
Take a look at Schwarber's strikeout rate. It's not great.
I understand that, but Schwarber gets on base. Like Gorman is.
And I'm not saying Gorman is as good as Schwarber. I'd take Schwarber over Gorman right now.
Kyle Schwarber is 14th in Major League Baseball in on base percentage. Like, he's getting on base.
Yeah.
Gorman it's literally feast or famine. Like, I'm going to hit the ball out of the park, or I'm going to go sit down and watch the next batter take his at bat.
Yeah, but what if he hits the ball?
God. That's the thing, though. Like, right now, you don't need Nolan Gorman to be Nolan Gorman right now because you have other guys that are stepping up. But when those other guys take a step back, maybe that's the time when Nolan Gorman steps up and he can win you ball games. You know what I mean? But that's baseball. Like, you're not going to hit 400, 300 the entire year unless you're a superstar. And Nolan Gorman's not a superstar yet.
Yes.
He's a good player, and I think he has a lot more to give. But we got to let him sort of marinate and let him figure out what kind of baseball player he is. Right now, he's a guy who's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
That's Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers here in the Fast Lane. We've got a mic drop question for you guys. How can Oli Marmol win you back as a Cardinals fan? Because I've seen a lot of things here recently, and I'm watching the team play better, and I'm wondering how long it's going to take for Oli to win his way back in to you Cardinals fans, or is that just forgotten? No chance he can do it. Leave us a mic drop on the 101 ESPN mobile app, or you can give us a call at the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Leave us a voicemail. All right, coming up next, the greatest 2 words in sports, Carey. Game 7. Right here in the Fast Lane, 101 ESPN. Are you currently trying to sell your home? Or are you thinking about listing your home? One thing I can tell you is I've noticed a lot of signs up in yards here recently, and the market's crazy. It's been all over the place. It used to be you put your house up for sale, and by the end of the day, you've got multiple offers. Well, the market is shifting. It's changing. Houses are sitting there a little longer than they want to. This is why you have to take your home to the expert. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She's been in the business for a long time. She knows the area, knows the market, and knows exactly what you need to do to sell your home. Gloria also has a database with thousands of buyers that are ready, willing, and able to purchase your home right now. And that drives a lot more traffic to your listing, increases your odds of getting a quick sale, and sometimes you get those multiple offers, and that means more money in your pocket. So please, if you're going to sell your home, call Gloria Liu. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you. That number's 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888. Or you can visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Guess who's about to do that hockey? Guess who's about to do that hockey, bro? It's us! It's us, baby! And guess what, Shay? Your boy is in Florida. I'm going to Game 7. I don't know a damn thing. I don't know a damn thing about hockey, but other than the fact that the puck is black. But damn it, everybody in the world is talking about hockey today. So that's what we gonna do. Shay's back in the house. Your boy is back in the house. PK Supon is back in the house. And Commissioner Gary Bettman is coming into the house. Holla at your boys! Game 7. Whoa! Let's go!
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. That voice you just heard was Stephen A. Smith from ESPN talking hockey this morning to Shannon Sharp. And, Carey, this brings me back to last week when we said, what's the best case scenario for the NHL? The best case scenario was a Game 7.
Yes.
And I still feel like Florida winning said game is the best option from a revenue driving standpoint. Now, Edmonton winning, you have an entire country that's going to celebrate. But we discussed it last week. They're going to watch hockey anyways next year. Stephen A. Smith, this is just a small example. He's like, I don't know anything about hockey. He's like, the whole world is watching this Game 7. People don't even watch. Hockey fans are watching this Game 7. So I think that's, for me, the biggest thing is that it is the talk of the town right now. And I have no idea what to expect. After watching this damn series, I'm like scratching my head. It's unreal.
That's the most I know, because you were dead set on Florida in 3, and then they go up 3.
Well, what problem is they won 3,
and then they thought it was over. They stopped playing. I think Game 7 obviously is spectacular for the game, but I think Edmonton winning and Connor McDavid having one of those nights that you hear about or that you read about or that you have to be there to see it. I think that's the bigger story. Just the fact that they were down 0-3, have clawed their way back into this series. You did there. And made it a series. I think that, to me, is the story. That's the biggest story. And if Edmonton were to win tonight, that's going to be headlines. It hasn't happened in the final since 1942.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, this is a long time ago, right? So none of us have seen that in our lifetime. So I think for that to happen tonight is going to, and if they're able to do it on the road, like that makes it even that much more sweeter to silence an entire stadium of fans screaming and shouting and vulgar information and saying things towards you. I think that would be outstanding for them.
Yeah, I was on the same page as you last week, Jamie, thinking, okay, yeah, Florida, if they win this series, this is probably the best thing for the NHL. But as the game ended on Friday night, I was just thinking the exact same thing Carey was just saying, like, this is massive for the NHL if the Oilers end up winning this game, because this is history, right? This is history. I don't think anybody's really rooting for Florida to win this game, other than obviously a few people out there, definitely in Florida. But I think people want to see history. It doesn't matter what sport it is. You want to see greatness happen, and you have the best player in the world on Edmonton. And if he can help his team win this game, it'll be one of the biggest comebacks in sports history. I want to see that. I want to be alive for that.
Yes, I agree.
So this is going to be the most historical game for each of these franchises. Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton coming back from 3-0 down and winning 4 out, winning the Cup, is the most historical thing for that franchise. Imagine that. They had Wayne Gretzky for how long, and Mark Messier. This would be the most historical thing for the Edmonton Oiler franchise. Carey, you talked about earlier, it hasn't been since 1942 where a team came back from a 3-0 deficit. So it's also one of the most historical games in the history of the NHL. Let's flip it. If Florida loses, it'll be one of the most historical collapses ever in Stanley Cup finals.
So, obviously, you are the hockey aficionado. I go to you for all my hockey information. If I have a question, I'll text you, hey, what the hell is this? Why is this guy? I do, because I obviously don't know. Florida looks to me like they aren't playing the style that you told me that they play, like the aggressive, in-your-face. Edmonton seems to be, we talked about it, they were not themselves those first couple of games trying to play Florida's game, and I think they realized we have a better skill set. Let's just do what the hell we do and ignore all the nonsense. Florida has not been able to score on the power play. It is amazing that they are getting that many opportunities and not scoring. And so Florida, Edmonton looks like the more poised team in comparison to the first couple of games where they looked like they were out of their way and could not figure it out.
Florida's gotten away from the tight checking. And it's not like you get away, like, Carey, like you're in a game. You're not trying to make the wrong play. Sometimes it just happens, or the other team is outplaying you.
Right.
I think there's a combination of some things that have happened here for the Florida Panthers. One, the Oilers, it just goes to show you how difficult they are to defend, period. Two, this is the second year in a row you've been to the Stanley Cup final. The majority of that Florida Panthers team, they could be tired, man. I know if
you can't be tired right now, though.
I understand it, but you could be tired in that series. Tonight you can't be. Tonight you can't be. So that's why I'm looking forward to tonight, because one of these teams will impose their will on the other. It's just the way it's going to happen. And I'm anxious to see if it's the Florida Panthers that get back to their tight checking. Barkov will be out there every single time McDavid is on the ice. We'll see what Bobrovsky does. He's kind of fallen asleep here in the last 2-3 games as well. But to me, the biggest...
Thanks, Marshy, about that.
Thanks, Marshy.
We'll see what happens today.
The biggest wild card that can happen tonight is you have the greatest player in the game. All he has to do is play great for one night.
Right.
You're not asking him for 7 games. You're not asking for a complete playoff run. He went to sleep this afternoon for his pregame nap, knowing he's going to get up, and he has a chance to win a Stanley Cup, and he's the best player in the world. And he had 8 points in 2 games before Florida held him off the score sheet last game. But then all the other guys decided to wake up.
Right.
So I'm worried for Florida. just because Connor McDavid is capable of some crazy things.
I wonder how much the power plays will actually be a factor in this game, because we go back to Game 7 in 2019. There was only one penalty called in that game. It was because Colton Parayko flipped the puck out of play. So it wasn't anything that the referees necessarily had to have a judgment call on. It was just, that's what it is. You flip the puck out of play, delay of game, and you can't really argue that. I wonder just if there is going to be any room for special teams tonight. It's Game 7, final game of the season. I have to expect these referees are going to put their whistles away.
Yeah, quite honestly, I think the league probably told them bringing your whistle to the ice is optional tonight. I think you'll only see a penalty when it's a clear-cut scoring chance that has been denied. Could be wrong. I mean, who knows? But if it does go to a special teams battle, it doesn't favor Florida.
Right.
Even the Panthers have done a good job of, not nullifying, but playing against the Oilers' power play. But the power play for the Panthers has been invisible. Yeah. The Oilers are on an epic run of penalty killing.
I wanted to ask you about that, because it's 18 of 19 versus the Panthers, 46 of the last 47. How is that possible? What have they done or changed or figured out during the penalty kill that is allowing them to not get scored on?
Hard work and sacrifice. That's it. Know your details of what you're looking for, and then hard work. Just get to the spot and then be willing to be hit by a puck. That's all it is knowingly putting yourself in front of the puck to cause the other team to have missed opportunities, and then defend the front of your net like your life depends on it.
I truly believe this game comes down to how well Sergei Bobrovsky plays, because you see it's a night and day difference. When he does not look good, the team, for whatever reason, they're pressing. We talked about this last week. They feel like they have to score rather than just keep playing the style of game that we've seen throughout the first 3 games of the series. I really do think it comes down to him. And it comes down to me and whether or not I pick him to save the first 10 shots and bet the board.
Please don't do that. Let's give the Panthers a chance, okay?
We'll see.
He's going to do it again.
I know
I'm right there, though, with bet the board. I have came back, and
but wait.
And I keep losing on that
pick.
pick.
First?
You.
I pick last.
Maybe I'll
you've all the way down to last now?
You have jumped me.
Whoa.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, well, we'll not only will we be able to watch that game tonight on TV, also be carrying that the pregame here on 101 ESPN starting at 6:30. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that game tonight. And one way or another, Carey will be talking about a winner tomorrow here in the Fast Lane. What's trending coming up next here on 101? Are you looking to change out those old windows? Not happy with the way they look or how efficient they are? Maybe you're sitting there going, but I don't want to spend the money on new windows. Guess what? You're already spending the money, because every month you're paying for that hot air to leak in, or if it's a wintertime, that cold air to leak in. The efficiency isn't there, so why not get it done the right way and call my friends over at Window World. Window World are the preferred window of your St. Louis Blues. They also use a double-strength glass that is not commonly found in replacement windows. So we talk about that efficiency. That's it right there. Double-strength, thick glass, solid, unbelievable, looks great, and the installation is always done perfectly by my friends over at Window World. They also give you a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, glass breakage, and labor. And don't forget that right now, they offer 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call them. Tell them Jamie Rivers from 101 sent you in. Their number's 314-993-1800. Again, that's 314-993-1800. Or you can visit windowworldstlouis.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. A big win for the Cards yesterday. They sweep the San Francisco Giants with a 5-3 victory. Sonny Gray went 7 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 earned run, and struck out 8. The Cards are taking on the Atlanta Braves tonight. Lance Lynn takes the mound going up against Spencer Schwellenbach. First pitch is at 6:45. Also tonight, we just talked about it, the greatest 2 words in sports, Game 7 for the Cup, Florida, Edmonton. You can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN with the pregame starting at 6:30. We'll continue talking about your St. Louis Cardinals, and we'll continue talking about Game 7 tonight throughout the remainder of the show. But coming up next, we have What's Trending. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and you're probably wondering, where's Anthony Stalter? Well, he is on daycare duty.
Yes.
Daycare duty. Have you guys ever
Sort of.
like had a job babysitting, or have you done that before? Not your kids, though.
Yeah, so not a babysitting job, but I will say that being in the hockey camp business for 10 years now, you have...
Sort of.
It doesn't matter how much the kids love hockey. There's still moments within a week when you have 70 kids in a camp where you're doing a little bit of babysitting. And it's not even like anything bad. It's just that kids are kids, and they're not on the ice for the entire time. So it's not all hockey. So you have locker rooms that you have to maintain. So for me, with Synergy Hockey, we always have a coach in the locker room, sometimes two coaches. One, to help with equipment. Two, to kind of police things a little bit. Because the locker room can be a scary place for kids. You get a couple of kids that are chirping, maybe one mouths off, and just like school. There's it happens. So you have the dressing room, you have the lunch area, you have outside activities. You're constantly monitoring the kids so that they all, they usually have good behavior, but you want everybody to have a great experience that week. You don't need a kid going home that had a horrible week because some kid's picking on him, or some kid threw his lunch in the trash, or no. So I guess, yes, I still do currently.
I think if you're a coach of any sort, there is some babysitting qualities.
Yeah.
Also, an Uber driver, pizza or food deliverer, Uber Eats. You do all of those things when you are coaching, because it's kind of the requirement.
Yep.
Some kids, a counselor, a referee to break up fights if need be, mentor. You wear a bunch of different hats when you are a coach. So you do have some babysitting moments, especially if a parent is running late. And I've had to sit at the school for 30, 40, 45 minutes, and I've had to tell parents, hey, so if you can't be here on time, guess what? Your kid can't participate. That's just how it goes. We gotta get here on time. I got my own kids to get to, sir.
We have that sometimes after camp. Parents are 30, 40 minutes late to pick up their kids, and so we can't take away playing time because it's a camp.
Right.
But what we can do is we charge them $1 a minute because we have a pickup time.
There you go.
And that's just that. So
they usually get there by the time.
Yeah, it's amazing how it works.
It's amazing how money works.
Yeah. Some people might have to babysit some of these Edmonton fans who are off to Florida tonight. And, if they win, there probably will be some babysitting that needs to be happening, because I'm sure those people will have some man sodas in them. This is a news report from Global Edmonton talking about a group of fans who booked tickets to Florida. And it's not just one person. It's a ton of Edmonton fans. This is how crazy Canadian fans are about their hockey.
Mark Beck started thinking about going to Florida for Game 7 even before Game 6. His idea, chartering a flight from Edmonton to Fort Lauderdale.
Phoned around, basically everything was booked, and finally a lady called me back from Caribou Air, and she said we got a plane.
After getting that sorted out, Beck had another challenge, filling the plane's 95 seats. So he put the call out on a local radio show, looking for Oilers fans willing to fly down to Florida for the game. The flight was full within 30 minutes.
My phone didn't stop. It was crazy. It was nothing but buzzing the whole day, every day. And it's still buzzing now.
On Sunday morning, the fans left the airport bound for Florida. The manifest included a special guest, the Stanley Cup, or at least a close likeness.
We're bringing it from Edmonton down to Fort Lauderdale, and once we win it, we're dragging it home.
Al Sim boarded the plane with a replica of Lord Stanley's mug made for him by a friend. It's getting the same treatment as the real thing.
We got the white gloves. We're carrying the cup. Nobody gets to touch it or do anything with it until we win it. So we'll bring it around with us and have fun with it.
Back in Canada, one artist will be supporting the Oilers from home with her paintings. Samantha Woj uses sports objects to create her work and has made a few Oilers masterpieces during their playoff run.
Guys,
hang on.
This guy has gloves on and a fake Stanley Cup.
I absolutely love fans and fandom, because it does go as crazy as it can get. Like that, you you imagine it, you dream it, you get a bunch of people to say, yeah, I'm in on it. Let's go down to Florida. Let's charter a flight. And let's also have a fake Stanley Cup that we'll pretend in our minds that is real, but we won't. We'll do all the precautions and procedures in place for Lord Stanley Cup, even though it's not the real thing.
So tell me you're Canadian in a very short period of time. Here's what we just heard. One, the accent on the guy right away. He's like, no, we got chartered an airplane. And like, okay. Two, what kind of airline was it? Oh, it's Caribou Air. So that's two.
Caribou coffee.
Three, you've got a guy wearing white gloves carrying around a fake Stanley Cup. Four, we didn't get to it, but the artist who does the paintings, she paints all of these things using a hockey stick.
Oh, really?
The blade of a hockey stick.
Wow.
And then, of course, chartering a flight with a bunch of random strangers, each at a cost of like 2,900 Canadian or something like that, and filling up a 95-seat plane in 30 minutes.
That's not even accounting for the price of what the tickets might be.
I don't think they're going to the game. I don't think they're going to the game. I think they're just going to Florida. The hell with the game. Just get me to the state. I need to be in the state when this all takes place.
It's unreal.
They'd probably go find a bar somewhere and all hang out. That'd be awesome.
It's going to be unreal to watch. The videos that people put out on social media tonight, and certainly the crowd down in Florida. We remember what it was like for Game 6 here in St. Louis in 2019. It was bedlam downtown. Like, there was hundreds of thousands of people in the building, outside of the building, all over the place. So Florida's going to be packed for sure. Again, that was one of the most Canadian things I've ever heard of. That's what's trending here in the Fast Lane. When we come back, are you ready to buy back into the Cardinals? Carey, looking at you. Right here on 101 ESPN. sound right there lets you know it's time to talk about the Redbirds, and the lineup is out.
Red hot Redbirds.
That's right, Carey. Oh, baby, look at you. Carey Davis apparently back on board. Jamie Rivers here. Andrew Marsh. Marshy, who do the Braves have on the bump tonight?
They have a RHP, that is a right-handed pitcher. Spencer Schwellenbach.
Oh, Schwelly, that's right.
I'm going to say Strider. I'm
glad he's not.
He's not playing.
I'll take Schwelly any day compared to Spencer Strider. And we got Lance Lynn on the bump for the Cardinals. So right-handed pitcher, do you think this makes a difference right now at the top of the order, Carey?
No. It should not.
Go ahead.
Show us Mason Wynn.
I'm watching the Futures game, and this thing's all over Instagram. It's like, this guy threw a ball 100 across the time. That's awesome, but, like, how many throwing errors does he have?
Shut up!
All right. I don't think there's any chance it's not Alec Burleson here.
No, I agree.
Show us Alec Burleson.
You know, kind of closed my eyes and swung at it and did what I wanted to do.
Burley to the rescue!
All right, here's where we get a little bit.
Just thinking that. Is Wilson Contreras playing?
I don't know.
If so, he should be here.
I don't think he'll be here. I think it'll be Goldie here, and I think Contreras at 4. Because that's where he was batting before the injury.
Okay, you have at it. You like it. I love it. Go ahead.
I want some more of it. Show us Paul Goldschmidt.
No.
Son of a...
Damn it, Jamie.
I know. I'm mad at me too.
All right.
Go ahead.
Show us Wilson Contreras.
DH.
Come on.
No.
Adjustment. Check.
Okay, but then is Paul Goldschmidt 4th, or do they go Gorman here? See, now you know why I was hesitant.
Probably still Gorman, because as you said, you're okay with, and you and Marcia are okay with going 2 weeks without a hit. As long as you go 2 weeks and hit 10 home runs. That's what I know I heard you all say it. You said it about 222
Carey,
earlier today.
A couple things here. I say a lot of things.
Oh, I should have wrote that one down.
Okay?
I should have wrote it down.
Should have a record of it.
I should have.
Like, it's not like
I heard
anybody was listening on the radio.
Nah, Marcy said it.
I did.
Yeah. And you agreed. You're like, yeah, he didn't have the hit ever.
So who do you want to put in here?
Nolan Gorman, because you all don't care.
See, I don't think he's going to be batting cleanup.
Who do you think's batting cleanup?
I think, where do you put Goldie?
5.
5?
Hey, man. Hey, this is not personal. You want to win.
All right. Go ahead. Then.
Show us Nolan Gorman.
Get your fish short.
All right. Nice job, buddy.
Get your popcorn ready.
Carey's finally on the Gorman train. Thank you.
I know. He hit a home run tonight, though.
Yeah, he will.
Yep.
All right. This one here is Paul Goldschmidt. Show us Goldie.
What a shame.
Is Goldie not playing?
Hey. Who's playing?
Wow. Ollie's benching everybody now.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so
Well, who that? Oh, my goodness.
this is where we're screwed.
We're in a bad way right now.
Is Arenado playing?
He was day to day.
I
You
think
think he's
worth
batting
it.
5th?
Well, where else are you going to put him?
All right. I don't think he's batting 5th.
Show us.
You have it.
Nolan Arenado.
You are so wrong.
So both of those guys are out of the lineup. So
Well, we don't know that. They could be.
They're not batting 6th.
Well, Arenado might be. You need a third baseman. Who's
Brandon Crawford.
No, not here. He's not. Is it Donovan here?
Donnie. I like that.
All right.
Show us Brendan Donovan.
Donnie.
Hey, this headband's pretty cool.
All right. That's 5.
Okay. Yeah, this gets
So
weird.
you got
so like who's first
Paez,
base?
You got. You might have Burley playing. I don't know. Good question.
Who's our outfield?
Ciani or Carlson. Donovan is probably in the outfield. Burley in right field, but I don't know who's it. It's got to be Brandon Crawford coming up here, or Fermin.
Or is it Matt Carpenter?
Yeah,
He's
that's
the
another
DH.
good one. All right. No, Wilson's the DH.
Maybe he's not.
All right, show us Matt Carpenter.
No.
we might be here till tomorrow now.
Brandon Crawford.
Sure. Show us the Crawdaddy.
You are so wrong.
Who else is on the team? Fermin.
Carlson.
He's not batting 6th.
Well, somebody. Right now, we don't have anybody.
All right. Show us. We call him Frankie Fermin.
Freddie.
Freddie. Show us Fermin.
What the H is wrong with you guys?
Oh, God, Carey, this is bad.
Who the hell is left?
Carlson.
Well, go ahead.
Show us Dylan Carlson.
Guy was built like a linebacker.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, now
he's
I
in
think it
center
could be the
field.
Crawdaddy.
Well, you love him.
He's going to have a comeback story,
He is.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Sure.
Show us the Crawdaddy.
Sorry, guys.
This is Fermin. Show us Fermin.
Show us Nolan Arenado.
He's not batting seventh. What the hell are you doing?
Hey, it's worth a shot, right?
Show us Paez. Who is missing? Who are we missing?
This is awful.
We need Anthony to text us a name.
Oh, show us Matt Carpenter.
Oh,
behalf of the veterans
Yes.
and new
what is he
leadership.
playing?
Salsa, where's the salsa?
Maybe
No salsa.
first base today.
All right.
God, now it's Paez. Show us Petey Pages. Come on. So Contreras,
Fermin.
Contreras is
He's not
catching.
catching.
He's catching now. If Paez,
He's catching now.
if he's not batting eighth, show us Jose Fermin. God,
Crawdaddy.
yeah,
Show
sure.
us Brendan Crawford.
So will
Oh my God,
different Crawdaddy.
this is unbelievable. So this isn't necessarily Siani though, because Carlson
No,
might
Carlson
be
is playing.
So I think it's Burleson, Carlson.
Paez.
Go ahead.
Show us Pedro Paez.
Who cares now? Yeah. I knew you wanted it out of your system.
did.
So
So Wilson is catching.
hang on. Wilson is catching. We got
Donnie in
Wynn at
left
short.
field.
Donnie. So who's playing second base?
Maybe
Who's playing third base?
Fermin.
He's not in the lineup.
I know he's right here.
Go ahead.
Show us Fermin.
No, he's not.
Who's playing?
I don't know. Is Ollie in the game?
Michael Siani. Dylan is in right field.
All right, show us Superbad.
Michael.
Oh my God.
Michael.
You're not Michael Phelps. You're Michael Cera.
This is unbelievable. I actually, Carey, good luck the rest of the show. I'm going to see myself to the door.
You out of here?
I might just go smash my head off a brick wall
my
after
goodness.
that. All right, run it for us, Marshy.
All right, leading off the shortstop, Mason Wynn batting second, playing first base, Alec Burleson batting third, catching, welcome back, Wilson Contreras, your cleanup hitter, second baseman, Nolan Gorman, batting fifth in left field, Brendan Donovan, batting sixth in right field, Dylan Carlson, batting seventh, your DH, Matt Carpenter, batting eighth, the third baseman,
Of course.
Brandon Crawford, and batting ninth in center field, Michael Siani.
Oh my God.
Back.
Go fair, go foul! I don't believe what I just saw!
Home run.
I don't believe what we just did.
We got a few texts saying that the lineup game would be challenging for us today.
Oh, we were challenged.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we've ever missed that many.
I almost give up. I was like, I don't even know if there's another player that I can name right now. All right, Marshy, let's get to the home runs here. We're up against it.
All right, I'm going to pick Brendan Donovan today.
All right. I'm second, right?
Yes.
I'm going to go with Nolan Gorman.
I knew it.
Piddles had a spreadsheet today.
Why does he only give you the spreadsheet?
Because he likes me. He doesn't like you.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Who you went Donovan? Marsh?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I guess I'm going, Winner Contreras. Give me Contreras.
I like your style.
I'm going for the...
And then Anthony. Who we giving Anthony?
So, Anthony, it looks like he gave us a slew of different players.
Oh, yeah.
Contreras was already picked. So, Matt Carpenter is
Look at that.
Anthony's player today.
All right, that's your home run derby and your Cardinals lineup. Carey and I are going to ice down our feelings during the break here, and we're going to come back with finding out from you, are you ready to buy back into your Cardinals here on 101 ESPN? For over 80 years, the Londoff family has been making transportation dreams come true here in the St. Louis area. Johnny Londoff, the man, the myth, the legend, was in here last week. We were talking, and he absolutely just loves helping people out. He always wants to make sure that his customers are taken care of properly. I tell the story all the time about my son buying his first brand new car. The Londoff team took care of him like he was family, and he will be a Londoff customer for the rest of his life, just like his dad. I've been a Londoff customer for over 25 years, and I won't go anywhere else. They are fantastic with the pricing that they give you, and the customer service is second to none. And the best part about all of it, there's 2 locations now. Got the original location in Florissant, Missouri. We know that. It's iconic out there. And they got the brand new Londoff Autoplex right out there in St. Peters, right off of Highway 70. Both locations have tremendous inventory of brand new and pre-owned vehicles, and they have exceptional customer service by all of their representatives. So please stop by either location. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. If you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit them at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
Two pros and one average show. You're listening to The Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling.
I have to agree with Carey Davis. What Nolan Gorman doing is not good baseball. It's not even bad baseball. It's horrible baseball. And Oliver Marmol keeps putting him in the 4-hole again and again and again and again. And it's an automatic out. He has 2 hits in his last 33 at-bats. In his last 30 games, he's hitting 186. He plays bad defense. Why are we putting him on the field? It's an automatic out.
Well, thanks for the mic drop. That was from our guy, John. We're back here in the fast lane. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh. I don't like the way John
told how he felt.
I don't like the way he had numbers to solidify his statement. No, I'll push back just for a bit on John, though. The defense has been fine. Nolan Gorman's defense has been fine.
Well, he's I think leading the league in errors for second baseman.
I don't believe that to be true.
I mean, I can Google
I'm going to call you out right now.
Carey, he just said he doesn't like the numbers backing up that Nolan Gorman has not been playing good baseball. Why are you trying to make this man leave the show? He just had to ice his feelings after the last segment.
My gosh.
I apologize.
And if you missed that, by the way, the lineup game is a treat. You want to go back and download the podcast later on today. All of that brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto. Okay, so to get back on point here, are we ready to buy back into the Cardinals? Because, Carey, we know that it has been a toxic relationship so far this season with the Cardinals. You love them one day, you hate them the next. They play good against the good teams, lose to the bad teams. But here we are, and I hate to do this because I actually sent a message to our guy Josh.
Wild card numbers again.
No, I'm not doing there.
Okay.
I actually sent a message to our guy Josh Innes because, he went on that rant about Mother's Day. Mother's Day. Yeah, the Cardinals' best team since Mother's Day. So I sent him a thing from Twitter. It says, the Cardinals own NL's best record since May 12th. That was Mother's Day. 24-13. So think about that. Digest it for a second. And I guess I'm asking all the listeners and you, Carey, to kind of not forget the way they started the season, but 24-13 in that span is the best in the National League. Like, those numbers don't lie.
That's fantastic. It is. And you're doing that with, Wilson Contreras being out for a majority of that. All of it, I believe. He got hurt, May 6th, I think.
Yeah.
Nolan Arenado, Nolan Gorman, and Paul Goldschmidt not doing the things that you expected them to do. Your pitching has been very, very good. And it's all working out really well. Now, the question I will have, one, is it sustainable? We've asked that earlier today. Two, is it because of the rest of the National League being meh as well? Like all of the other teams, they're all kind of jumbled in there a few games apart in the wild card. And so is it because the teams that they're playing aren't relatively really good? What is this team? And like I said, I know a few weeks back I said if they get to 2 games above 500, I'd be, excited. Then I changed it to 5 games. I'm going to hold at 5 because if you get to 5 right now and you sweep this series, then let's talk. Right?
Can we meet in the middle at 3?
No.
That means you win 2 of 3 against Atlanta.
I don't want to.
Okay, that's fine. I thought I'd ask.
I don't want to. I want to hold at 5.
What Marshy's doing is it's called a negotiation. Yeah, I know. And the negotiation dies when someone just says no.
I understand that, but I have to hold firm in my belief right now. And 5 is the number for me. I don't have to go higher. I'm definitely not going to go lower. But 5 games above 500. I mean, can we?
Why is it 5?
Because we just got to 2.
Did you just randomly pick 5, or was it
5 is a good number,
or just not?
That's a good number. It's a good number. Halfway, not 10. Not 0. It's halfway between. So yeah, 10 feels like a lot.
It sure
very
does.
unattainable. 5. I don't think that's asking for too much.
It certainly isn't, Carey.
So we're not getting to 3.
We won't be able to get to 3.
3's no good. You know that, Marshy.
Yeah.
We get a text from the 314 says, hello, absolutely ready to buy back in on my dirty birds. It's like taking Paxil and Ritalin ups and downs, just like Six Flags Screaming Eagle, baby. Woohoo, go Cards. So we got somebody
that what you
may
want?
have had a couple of cups of coffee here, and they're gassed up, ready to go.
Else.
Is that what you want, though? You want the ups and downs? You want the inability to know, where we stand, what we're doing?
But here's the
is that the excitement?
But hang on, here's the ultimate question: is it going to be ups and downs? Because you're 24-13 since May 12th, which tells me you're winning a lot more baseball games than you are losing.
Okay,
so it's not really ups and downs. 24-13. That's kind of a record that we're accustomed to with successful Cardinal baseball.
I agree with that.
So if we start getting that kind of baseball, we start winning the 2 out of 3, winning the series, splitting a 4-game series. Like, you start winning, then I don't know if the downs are coming or if they're as dramatic.
I can see where you're going with that, Jamie. And You are. That was well thought out. Very good way to explain that. Yeah, I'm still, not.
I appreciate it, but no, I'm still.
Carey, since me and you we formed a bond last Wednesday.
We did.
Actually, was it Wednesday or Thursday? I think it might have been Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Was it two? No, I know at least 2 days of positivity were coming from my mouth. I know it was only 2, but I do have a tweet for you, Carey, that sort of backs what you are saying. And this is from Just Blew In from Stupid Town. I know everyone's focusing on the Cardinals' record since Mother's Day, but to keep things in perspective, since May 31st, when the Phillies series started, they've been 12-10. Leaving Miami, they were 9-10. 12-10 is okay, not bad, but let's not get carried away.
Well, there's a way to look at it. I don't disagree. I think that, when you see Sonny Gray perform in the way that he did yesterday, that will give you hope.
For sure.
It gives you excitement because if you can get that type of performance, and again, you're probably not going to get 7 innings of perfect game pitching every outing.
Why not?
No, it's just probably
that's what his job is, Carey.
Well, guys on the other side get paid to play too, Jamie. They get paid well, and if you're striking everybody out and not allowing hits, it's going to be problematic for the opposing team every game. So, but to get that performance from him was exciting. That is why you signed him. Those are the outings that you can hope for and kind of expect. And then your offense also performs well. They did a great job this entire series versus the Giants. I think offensively they were able to score runs. They were able to play sound defensively and get the job done. That's what you can ask for. But the reward is you get to do it again. Now you get to go up against a better team in the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, this one's going to be different.
This is going to be so. Now let's test ourselves and see where we are in this series. And if you can win 2 out of 3, man, cool. Then maybe I will start to believe. And then you go into the next series, and maybe you win 2 out of 3 or however many games that is. Then you start to feel like, okay, now we're starting to put it together. But if you kind of fall back like you did against the Marlins where you lose 2 or 3 and you play a good Atlanta team and maybe you don't perform or it doesn't look how it looked last series, then the questions keep coming.
I think, thanks, Dad. He texted in. I think he brings up a great point. A good team doesn't accidentally get 9 games under 500, but a bad team doesn't accidentally prove or improve that to 2 games over. I'm in because I don't want to be one of those grouchy fans.
Yeah, Carey.
I'm not grouchy. I'm happy.
Someone called you Sergeant Grumple Stillskin on the text line.
I didn't
see that.
It took me a minute to try and figure out what they were writing.
I'm not grumpy. I'm holding my cards. I'm waiting to see.
See what you did there.
No pun intended.
Yep. All right, well, it's going to be a fun ride here. This is going to be a huge series against the Atlanta Braves. I have no idea what to expect, but Lance Lynn on the bump tonight, so we'll see what kind of an adventure that is for Cardinals fans tonight. We'll see how much Carey loves that tomorrow. All right, coming up next, we're going to do a little thing called What Happens First. Marsh, you want to explain this real quick so we can get our text line activated?
Yes, so the listeners will text in something that they believe or want to know what will happen first. An example could be who's going to win the championship first. Is it going to be the Blues? Will it be the Cardinals? That's an example. So if you haven't listened before, text in. If you have, then you're a seasoned veteran in the fast lane. Text in what happens first, and we'll do that next.
Perfect. Right here on 101 ESPN. Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, and Andrew Marsh. We asked you for some text messages for the What Happens First segment. Marshy, I'm going to hand the keys over to you.
All right, let's start off with the 314. What's going to happen first, or what happens first? The Blues make a move for a top 6 forward or a top 4 defenseman.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's got to be a forward, doesn't it? It's too hard to move the defenseman right now, or it feels like.
Yeah, but let's go back. Last summer, Army tried to do that. He might try again. And said player said, no.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving.
Top
Top 6
he's going to say it again?
Can I keep asking?
You didn't get the message last time? We've been here. We talked about this.
I'll say a top 6 forward. Just because, to your point, Carey, I think it's going to be more difficult. Like, I think the Blues can sign a Chandler Stevenson from Vegas. I like him a lot as a player. I think the Blues should sign him. So I'm just going to use him as like a guideline, and he would fall into your top 6. So that would be it by default.
Okay.
So top 6 forward. Marshy, final answer.
From the 314. I think this one's interesting. What happens first? Jordan Walker or Nolan Gorman is considered a successful major leaguer?
Ooh.
No, don't ask Carey.
I mean, one of them is here and one of them isn't. So,
true.
Although, with that being said, I mean, what do you think, Jamie?
I think it's going to be Gorman, just because what Gorman have last year, 24 dingers, something like that. I think that 20 to 30 home runs yearly probably makes you a pretty good major leaguer, and I just don't know if Walker has the ability to do that. I don't know if he has the ability to touch seats on a regular basis like that.
I'm just going to have to wait and see what next year looks like when he does get called back up. Because, I mean, Jordan Walker hit 16 home runs last year. So, Nolan Gorman has obviously has the power. They expect him to hit 25 to 30 home runs a year. But then we talk about the other side of that coin, which is, runners in scoring position. You waving at a few pitches, and now you're sitting down watching. Yeah. So, I don't know. I would say Nolan Gorman right now because Jordan Walker is not here. If they were both on the roster and performing, I think the upside is higher for Jordan Walker. I think the team thinks that as well, which is why they need him to get corrected and get his swing right and, not have as many holes in his swing and such an elongated, waving at pitches as the way he does. So, but for now, I would say Gorman.
Agreed.
Well, it's unfortunate that this man is not here to defend his team. From the 636, what happens first? Stalter's Falcons win the Super Bowl or Carey's Steelers?
I mean, one of the organizations is a stellar organization, has won 6 of those Super Bowls that you speak of. More likely for them to get back and figure things out because they just have a track record of doing things so well. I mean, you saw the Falcons there. How'd that go for them? Not great.
Not great.
Nah, they didn't perform very well. Saw them there years ago, I believe. Didn't go well for them then either. So, I would have to say that, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be the ones to figure that out sooner than the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Man. He would agree if he were here.
I think he would, yeah. From the 217, what happens first? The Cardinals rise to first place or fall to last place in the division? Keep in mind, 5 behind Milwaukee, 3.5 ahead of Cincinnati.
They ain't going to first place. No time
They're not
soon.
going to last either, though.
Okay.
The division's just too crappy.
Pick one.
I say they get to first.
It's too close.
I say the Cardinals are more likely to get to first place before they'd go to last.
I think I would go the other way. But then I'm going to be, what'd you call me? What did that guy call me? Sir what? What was it?
Sir
Grumplestein?
Grumplestiltskin. Grumpy Stillskin, I believe.
Yeah.
One of those.
Whatever.
From the 636, what happens first? The Cardinals win a playoff series or Mizzou football wins a playoff game?
Ooh.
This was really hard for Carey because he hates both teams.
The Cardinals win a based on schedule, the Cardinals should win before.
They said is a playoff series, Marshy?
Yeah.
Playoff series.
Oh,
Yeah, the playoff series, the playoffs for college football not until January.
Yeah, that's
Playoffs
the whole point.
Baseball is in October.
They'd have to win this series. I think Mizzou football wins. I think they're definitely going to be in the playoff, and I could see them winning a game.
I would say Mizzou football as well.
Man, that feels bad to say that.
This is something that I just thought of. If the Cardinals don't win the NL Central and they are in the playoffs, they're a wild card team, which wild card would you want them to be?
Where does that place them right now, though?
So they would take on, since they're the second wild card, they would face the Atlanta Braves in a 3-game series. Milwaukee would then, the third team, the third best record in the National League would take on the
Padres.
The last
division winner.
If it ended the way it is currently right now, I don't like our chances against the Braves.
How about against the Brewers?
I like that.
More than the Braves?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you watch them play the Brewers earlier this year?
Yeah. Well, that was earlier. That's when before Oli got thrown out.
Oh yeah, that was the
everything changed. Carey.
Yeah, that was it. I forgot about that. Oh yeah.
There's no way you could sit there sober and say that you'd rather play the Braves.
They've lost 6 or 7 to the Brewers this year.
I don't care.
They won 1 game.
I don't care. Nobody.
When Oli got thrown out on Mother's Day because he wanted to get the hell. I don't want to see him watch this.
He forgot to get his wife flowers.
Had to get on 1-800-Flowers.com or whatever. Yeah.
Hey, no free ads.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
From the 573, what happens first? So the Phillies just became the first National League team to win 50 games. What happens first? A National League team wins 70 games, or the Cardinals get 5 games above 500.
Oh.
Well, they hate the Cardinals, don't they?
They do. So what's that? You're at,
Phillies are at 51 games.
So what happens first? Phillies get to 70 wins, and the Cardinals get to 5 games?
5 games.
Oh, it's gonna be the Cardinals.
I gotta say the Cardinals as well.
Yeah.
So you got a tough matchup here with the Braves. And then you got Cincinnati. You got next 7 games. You could be 5 games over 500.
I would agree with that.
You're at 2 right now.
From the 636, what happens first? Pavel Buchnevich signs an extension, or Paul Goldschmidt signs an extension in St. Louis?
Oh, Pavel Buchnevich.
Yeah, I would say Pavel Buchnevich.
That's going to happen this summer, isn't it?
The Blues would like that to happen. I think that there's some serious discussions going on back and forth. I think Booch wants to know what direction the organization is heading in ultimately over the next couple of years. And, Alexander Steen also wants it to be a deal that he likes. So when he takes over the general manager's position, he's comfortable with the deal that Pavel Buchnevich has gotten too. So, but I do think that would be before Paul Goldschmidt gets extended.
All right, last one here from the 980. What happens first? The Blues become a playoff competitive team, and Jordan Binnington signs an extension before his contract is over, or the Blues don't become a playoff competitive team before Binnington's contract is over and he leaves.
So Binner's got 3 years left on his current deal. I would say the Blues would be competitive within that 3 years. That's a long time, and although we're not happy with the last 2 seasons, certainly not happy with the inconsistencies, the Blues showed improvement last year, and I think they'll just continue to get better. And if anything we can pull from that is the young guys played very well. Jake Neighbors, Bolduc, we'll have Dvorsky, Snuggerud will be part of it. I think there's too much in the positive to say that they wouldn't be a playoff team. And when you have Jordan Binnington for another 3 years, that certainly increases your chances.
I agree.
So, all right. Appreciate all your texts. That was what happens first. Stay tuned in here because in 15 minutes or so, Ben Hochman is going to be joining us from the Post-Dispatch. He had an article about Oli Marmol and some stuff that Oli's been dealing with here as the manager of the Cardinals. So we'll have him on again at 3:45. But first, coming up next, have the Cardinals sluggish, maybe the weight isn't going down like it used to, your workouts aren't as good, you're probably suffering from low testosterone. And it happens to all males. Doesn't matter what age you are, it's inevitable that at some point your testosterone levels will dip. And therefore, it causes all of those negative things to your body. Let me help you. Head over to Mentality. They've got 2 locations, one in South County, one in Chesterfield. And when you get there, you get a chance to sit down with one of their board-certified physicians and discuss just what you're going through, the changes in your life, and they're going to ask a lot of questions. But be honest, be an open book. Then they're going to take the blood panel, and they find out exactly what's going on for you. And each program is tailor-made for each individual. So it's not just a one-stop for everybody. No, it's for you. It's for me. I have low testosterone and deficient in some other vitamins. Mentality has stepped up. My program has changed everything for me. We talk about Anthony Stalter. He's been doing it as well. You won't be sorry, but please, you got to get in there. You got to talk to them. You got to get started. And now is the time to do that. So please, when you get in there, mention that Anthony and Jamie sent you in. Mentality will take great care of you. I promise you that. And if you can't get there in person, visit them online at lowtusa.com. Again, that's lowtusa.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals swept the San Francisco Giants over the weekend, a 5-3 victory yesterday. Sonny Gray went 7 innings. He only gave up 1 hit, 1 earned run, and struck out 8. The Cards will take on the Atlanta Braves tonight. Lance Lynn on the mound going up against Spencer Schwellenbach. First pitch is at 6:45. We'll talk with Benjamin Hochman of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch coming up here in about 10 to 15 minutes, so stay tuned for that. Tonight, Game 7 between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. The winner going home with the Stanley Cup. Game for that one starts at 6:30, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. Have the Cardinals established their new 1-2 punch? We'll dive into that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Wynn's been getting on base. He's aggressive. He's playing, just really good baseball. He's using the whole field, and Burley, he's stepping into that role extremely well. This is a guy that just takes a competitive at-bat. If you're on the opposing side and you have to start with those two are two really gritty at-bats to start the game, and then you got some thump after that. So I like where we're at.
Well, that was Oli Marmol following, was it last night's game or the day before, Marshy?
Well, either way.
Yeah, one of the games.
Either
one
way.
One of the wins, right?
These guys have been playing really good baseball, and they've been consistent. So you could plug that type of post-game into any of these games.
You can. And what he was talking about there is Mason Wynn and Alec Burleson at the top of the order for the Cardinals. And, Carey, you were pounding the drum at the start of the season because you wanted to see Mason Wynn in the leadoff spot.
I did.
And Oli said blank you and didn't want to do that.
He did.
But I actually understood why Oli didn't at first. Knowing what we know now about Mason Wynn, it feels like, well, why didn't he? Of course, he should have. But based upon the projections that we had, even us as a show, we thought, okay, Mason Wynn, as long as his bat doesn't hurt you, you'll be fine.
Right.
Does his speed project to be a leadoff guy? Yeah, but the bat at the time, we're like, maybe the bat doesn't project. Well, we were all wrong, of course. And so Mason Wynn has done nothing but prove to everybody in the baseball world that he's a legit major league player, not just defensively, but his speed plays and the bat is playing. Yeah. And now he's at the top of the order for the Cardinals. And when he gets on base, he's dangerous.
Right.
And what makes it really dangerous is when you got a guy like Alec Burleson who's unlocked something this year as a hitter, and now those two guys are just mashing at the top of your lineup, and without them this weekend, they don't sweep that series. It's just, it's not even close. Those guys did a lot of damage.
Yeah, Mason has been doing an outstanding job, and having Burley behind him, when he gets on first or is able to get the second, you almost feel like that's going to be a run batted in. You're going to find a way to manufacture runs. And what Mason has been doing is part of the reason why we talked about the speed. I wanted him at the top of the lineup, but also more at bats. You get more opportunities, more bites at the apple when you're leading off in comparison to when he was batting 8th earlier in the season. I'm like, he was performing really well then. He's done an outstanding job, whether it's with 2 strikes, his ability to get on base, his ability to not strike out and not get out. It's fun to watch. And then to have that protection behind him in Alec Burleson, now you need the other guys to add protection as well. You need the Paul Goldschmidts. You need the Nolan Arenados, Nolan Gorman. Those guys have to be able to, when you get one of those 2 guys on base, drive them in. This team can be a really good team offensively. We've seen the pitching has been outstanding. I don't think we expected it to be this good, but the pitching has been outstanding. But if the hitters are more consistent, and with those 2 at the top of the lineup, you could be looking at a really dangerous team. But until that consistency takes place, I can't believe in it just yet.
So it's kind of weird, right, this year? In a lot of ways, this baseball season has been weird or unique, whatever word you want to use for it, because nobody, I can't think of anybody. If you're out there, then I'll stand corrected, but I don't think anybody had it circled that Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado would be struggling, and that Nolan Arenado's power would just disappear. And they're supposed to, well, let's be honest, they were the original 1-2 punch.
All right.
You're 3-4 in the lineup. When Nolan Arenado first got here, it was the 2-3. Then Oli moved them around, and they were 2 and 4, but they're your two guys. It's like, here's the big boppers at the top of your order and in the middle of your order. Good luck.
Right.
Then you added Contreras. You're like, okay, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Goldie, Arenado, Contreras. Well, that hasn't happened this year.
Right.
Contreras has. So it is awesome to have him back in the lineup tonight. And hopefully he, again, picks up where he left off the last time he was in the Cardinals, birds on the bat. But the absence of Goldie and Arenado, you definitely needed somebody else to carry the torch. And I think a lot of people thought it was going to be Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the way they profile.
Yep.
Well, Gorman's been fine. Recently he's gotten a little bit of a cold spell, but he also was mashing for a little while too. Jordan Walker didn't go quite the way he wanted. He's down in the minors. But lo and behold, two guys, Mason Wynn, who you weren't sure if his bat would play at the major league level, and Alec Burleson, you weren't sure if he was going to be at the major league level.
Yeah, I think with Alec Burleson, I think the thing he needed was more at-bats, more opportunities, and it just happened to fall that way. I mean, Tommy Edman is out for a significant amount of time. Dylan Carlson gets injured to start the season. Then you got Michael Ciani and Victor Scott both playing, but all of the Lars Nootbaar getting injured. There have been a plethora of injuries and I guess poor play that has allowed Alec Burleson to be able to say, yeah, I'm going to. And then he performs well. He not only does well at the plate, but he's thrown runners out from the outfield. He's had a bunch of putouts in that manner.
Yep.
So he's done a really good job defensively as well. So he's given himself a chance to be an everyday player, and he's providing proof that I deserve when all – this is going to be interesting when everybody comes back healthy, when Jordan Walker gets called back up. Your team is going to be better, but who's going to be watching from the dugout and who's going to be playing?
Yeah, or maybe off the team.
It's going to be an interesting thing to watch and see how it all plays out. It's a good problem to have because the better your players being healthy and everybody being back, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to be able to try to figure out who plays today because we're all really good. But somebody's going to be watching. I don't think it'll be Alec Burleson. I think he's going to be playing regardless of who's healthy and who's not.
It's wild sometimes what opportunity can do.
Sometimes it's all you need.
Right?
And especially as a younger player. Like, the role of a younger player, like, being a bench player is more suited for an older guy, a Brandon Crawford, a Matt Carpenter, a guy that has had success in their career and getting an opportunity later, maybe to be a mentor, but to come in crucial roles and in crucial moments and taking it back. But when you are a 23-year-old like Alec Burleson was last year and your spot duty here and there, 23, 24, and am I going to play today? Probably not. Am I pinch hitting? Maybe. But to know I'm playing every single day, my day changes in how I go about it.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of like being stuck in traffic. Stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. You never find out if you can actually really drive.
Yeah.
Right? So Alec Burleson, and I know that's a loose comparison, but Alec Burleson, in and out of the lineup and up and down, it's really a compliment to him because the Cardinals ended the season last year. Their exit interviews, from what I understand, were very, to the point with Alec Burleson about what they needed from him in the offseason for him to come back and compete for a spot on the team. And he showed up 15 pounds lighter, so it shows that, he got after it in the gym and did his thing. And he also has talked about, and we're going to get into this later, we're going to dedicate an entire segment to this, but bringing in that veteran leadership too. Burleson went on to talk about just what Matt Carpenter has done for him so far this season. So all of these things kind of thrown in the pot together have made this great batter, Alec Burleson, who's having a standout year. And again, Mason Wynn, who's having an all-star caliber year, which, by the way, St. Louis, get out and vote for this guy.
Yeah, go to the games.
He's way behind in the voting, and he shouldn't be as far back as he is. But either way, both of these guys are having a heck of a season for the Cardinals, and thank goodness we have them because I couldn't imagine the record without these two guys. All right, coming up next, we got Ben Hochman from the Post-Dispatch. He wrote a really interesting article about Oli Marmol and some of the struggles he's had, not as the manager, but just with racial slurs and things like that have happened. So we're going to talk to Ben Hochman about that and a few other things Cardinals based when we come back here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. It's a fast lane here on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh. Now we head out to the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line to be joined by Ben Hochman from the Post-Dispatch. Ben, how we doing, bud?
I'm doing well. I'm at Busch Stadium right now.
Ah, perfect. Great. Lovely day for baseball.
Beautiful day. A little warm, though, if I may. Just a little warm.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, Ben, you had an article that came out over the weekend, and it was regarding Oli Marmol and how he has, had several challenges, but one of the challenges was some of the racial slurs that are directed towards him. How did this come about in the conversation? Did it start in another direction, or, how did we get to where Oli opens up about this?
Yeah, the full behind the curtain, and I even mentioned in the column, was I wanted to write something about Reggie Jackson's powerful words at the Rickwood game. For those that don't know, Reggie Jackson played minor league ball at Birmingham's Rickwood Field in 1967, and Reggie Jackson endured so much racism in the South. And on this broadcast in the pregame, he told the world literal anecdotes that involved the N-word and just powerfully terrible stuff that he endured. So I wanted to write about it for the Post-Dispatch, kind of like a follow-up, if you will, to Jackson's words. And I literally just asked a couple ball players, and then we were in the office with Oli Marmol, and I asked him about it, and he said, yeah, I get things like that said to me. And it just stunned me and surprised me. And I Marmol gave his quote, and then I followed up, like, just to be clear, am I hearing you right? You said racial slurs have been said to you by Cardinals fans at games. And he like laughed, like, he's like, yes, like more than you'd think was his quote. And so I tried to combine those two things in the column.
Ben, did you get any sense of how Oli compartmentalizes that and he's still able to do his job despite, those slurs and those things that are said to him?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty remarkable, right? I mean, if somebody, I'm trying to be silly here, but I'm a shorter guy. If someone calls me a short guy, like, that bothers me. I can't imagine trying to manage the St. Louis Cardinals while having those words infiltrate my brain. So, definitely impressive that Oli can still do it. And I obviously there's been a lot of reaction to the column, a lot of questions like, well, why didn't Oli just call stadium security or what, or things like that. But I mean, when it happens and you're managing a Major League Baseball game, you're still trying to manage the Major League Baseball game. That's the focus.
Yeah, that's kind of where my head went to, Ben, reading it. It was like, well, how does that even happen in today's day and age? Like, how are people that are sitting there amongst these other people not reacting in some way? And I guess, and I don't know if Oli said anything to you, if you guys got deeper into the conversation, but, how does Oli react to that? How does he absorb that and still continue to, be the manager, be the face of the organization and all that while having to deal with that?
Right, and he spoke about the idea that the fans sometimes forget that these are human beings. That even though the ball players and manager are $1 million people from their salaries, these are human beings. And we acknowledge, like, we get fired up at the ball game. We get fired up all the time when things happen. But to cross that line and to use a racial slur it's just inappropriate and disgusting, and it's unfair that Marmol has to go through it.
Ben, I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about this Cardinals team. This team has been performing pretty well. I know the day that everyone goes back to his Mother's Day when Oli got thrown out versus the Brewers, but this team has been performing really well despite maybe Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt not playing their best baseball. What have you seen from them, and how are they able to, go on this streak that they've been going on?
It's been pretty impressive. I even heard you earlier in the show say you wonder if it's sustainable, and I agree. I mean, how can this team continue to win series with Paul Goldschmidt not being Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado not being Nolan Arenado, and Jordan Walker, who they're depending on to be a key slugging OPS guy, isn't even on the dang team. So, I mean, it's great that guys like Burleson and Donovan are playing at high levels right now, but I'm I'm just not that fired up about this team heading into the summer. But I know some people are. And look, when you got Sonny Gray flirting with perfect games, and when you got Ryan Helsley is literally the save leader in Major League Baseball, and other dudes in the bullpen. I mean, the bullpen's the biggest story. I mean, these guys have overachieved and just been so good, so strong, so often. But yeah, it's a fascinating ball club for sure.
Have you heard anything about Jordan Walker, what the timeline is for him? Do they expect him back up this season, or is this we're going to let him finish out the minor league season and figure it out after that?
They haven't said anything specific about this season or not. I just want to, hate to assume, but I want to assume that they'll bring him back up at some point. He finally started hitting a couple home runs lately, which is good. I mean, but for those who don't know, that's the whole point. He was sent down because he just couldn't get the ball off the ground. He wasn't hitting line drives. He wasn't hitting doubles, wasn't hitting home runs. And goodness, if you look at his stats from last year when he came back from the minor leagues, basically June, July, August, September, he was a stellar, steady major league player. And I'm thinking, all right, this guy's going to be an all-star in 2024. Yeah, maybe he'll be a minor league all-star, but not obviously in the majors.
Ben, when you look at the team, and we just touched on a little bit with Goldie and Arenado not having banner seasons, respectively, what can the Cardinals do? Like, what's their move? If nothing changes, if it stays exactly the same, like, how much of a predicament are the Cardinals in?
I would say a pretty big one, right? And it's a weird year because there's so many teams that are right around 500, vying for this second wild card, first wild card, the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, Albert Pujols is not walking through that door. Jim Edmonds and Scott Rowland are not walking through that door. You have what you have. It's not like they've got some super stud in AAA that's on the cusp of coming to the majors. So the reality is, you just hope other guys can maximize. And you look, I mentioned Burleson and I mentioned Donovan. Of course, Wilson Contreras is coming back tonight, hitting third, playing catcher. He's a huge OPS guy, and there's excitement there. But yeah, I mean, you got to score runs. Obviously, you got to score runs to win baseball games. And I just wonder how much power and firepower the Cardinals offense has heading into the summer.
Ben, do you see a scenario where the Cardinals might even entertain trading one of or both players come deadline time? And if so, what do you think the return would be at all, even for someone like Paul Goldschmidt?
I mean, you have to consider everything at this point. I think the Cardinals, I can't speak for them, but after what happened last year, they got to make the dang playoffs this year. That has to happen. I mean, I get frustrated about it. I remember when Sonny Gray came to his his off-season press conference because he got signed with the Cardinals, and he was saying, "Oh, the playoffs and this team is known as a playoff team." I'm like, what year is he referring to? I mean, obviously from 2011, through 2015, that the team was really good. But since they missed the playoffs 16, 17, 18, they make it in 19 and win one series. 20 was bad, 21 was bad, 22 was bad. You're barely in, they're barely out. 23 was one of the worst seasons in the Cardinals' history. So it's like, all right, yeah, they've got the playoff pass, but just getting in is not even good enough, I would say. But now, of course, with the way things are going, they got to just get in first and foremost. So I can't see them being sellers unless they just fall apart and end up in the National League Central cellar.
Well, Ben, great stuff, man. We really appreciate you jumping on with us here today. Really appreciate your article outlining, what Oli Marmol is going through, and hopefully these things change. Those types of comments change. Hopefully that the article shed some light on some of that. But really appreciate you joining us here.
Yeah, I listen to the show all the time. Very fun being on.
All right, appreciate it, buddy. We'll have you on again soon. Take care.
Take care.
All right, again, that was Ben Hochman from the Post-Dispatch that just joined us, and some good stuff there. It's pretty wild to think that some of that stuff is still happening in today's day and age. And if nothing else, Carey, the Reggie Jackson interview statement has reopened the conversation to get it out there, man.
Yeah, the fact that it's interesting that I think Ben said the fact that it's still taking place. It's not abnormal for me. Like, it's not something that I would say, oh wow, that's a shocker. No, I when I read that article, I could believe it. I didn't have any doubt that that's what has taken place. And whenever you are in an environment like that and things like that are being said, it's only allowed to be said because those around that person that is saying it are not calling it out either. Like if it's being said to the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, imagine what it's being said to the person at the gas station or, somebody that is doing whatever during regular life by that person. So if you're sitting there next to someone or with someone that says those types of things and you don't call it out, you're just as culpable as they are.
Yep.
You might as well scream it out as well because you're right there allowing it to take place as opposed to saying, hey, we don't do that. And matter of fact, I don't even want to be around you anymore. I got to go. So you are part of the problem as well if you're allowing it to happen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So great stuff again from Ben Hochman. And we have a returning Gauntlet contestant, thanks to Carey. We'll get to the Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
Four warriors, four categories, one challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
It's 4:03 here in the Fast Lane. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jeweler, an official provider of Rolex jewelry. It's time for the Gauntlet, and we have a returning contestant, our guy Sean. Sean, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, Riz. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in there. It's a Monday. You know, we're doing our thing over here.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You completely embarrassed Carey on Friday.
I kind of embarrassed myself by winning on a Miley Cyrus question.
Oh, yeah. I respected it. I
did ask my daughter.
You, bro.
I asked my daughter, I said, who sings Flowers? She said, Miley Cyrus. I said, needed a phone a friend.
All right, Sean.
Good.
You made quick work of Carey. Anthony not here today, unfortunately. So is it Andrew or myself today?
How about you today, Jamie?
All right, man.
All right.
Good luck, Sean.
All right, you too, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Sean. Jamie is heading to the cone of silence. You know the rules. No options, you get 2 points. One option, you get 1 point. If you get it wrong, you get no points. And what topic would you like today?
Just not hockey with Jamie.
Just not hockey. All right, well, tell Marcy to spin that wheel. We'll see what you get.
Spin that wheel, Marcy.
All right, so you had a good weekend. You got a W on Friday, and you are ready to take on Jamie Rivers, and we are spinning the wheel, and it is not hockey.
We have football today.
Oh.
All right, Sean. We'll see how this goes.
Jamie is
right,
1-3 in football, so you have a chance.
1-4 after this.
Well, there you go. That's the mindset you need.
All right, Marcy's giving me the launch codes, and we are ready to go. You ready to go, Sean?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. According to NCAA.com, which college football stadium holds the most fans with the maximum capacity set at over 107,000?
Oh. I want to say the Horseshoe. Let's go with the Horseshoe, Ohio State. Final answer.
Question number 2. The Platypus Trophy is a trophy that is given out to the winner of the annual matchup in college football between which two cross-state rivals?
No clue. How about the options, please?
Options are New Mexico versus New Mexico State, Oregon versus Oregon State, or TCU versus North Texas.
Wow. Let's try TCU. Final answer.
Question number 3. After coaching Toledo in 1990, Nick Saban was the coach at which university before his tenures at LSU and Alabama?
Once again, no clue. Options, please.
Is it Louisiana Lafayette, Kennesaw State, or Michigan State?
What was the second one?
Kennesaw State.
Let's try that. Sounds good.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Question number 4. In his college football coaching career, how many national championships did Nick Saban win?
Options, please, again.
Options are 7, 8, or 9.
I think it was 8, but I'm guessing 2, so 8. Final answer.
All righty. Carey, do you know why 6 was afraid of 7?
Because 7, 8, 9?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Jamie's coming back in here from the Cone of Silence. How you feel, Sean?
Oh, man, I'm sweating bullets like I'm outside.
It's a little warm outside. Hope you're indoors,
Yes, sir.
staying cool. Jamie, how you doing?
I'm good. I don't like when I come back into the room, everybody's laughing. I feel everybody's laughing at me.
Laughing at you, man.
I told a dad joke.
He did.
Jamie.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Tell it to Jamie. Nah, don't
well,
tell him.
I'll tell you after.
All right. Jamie.
All right, how did my guy Sean do?
Well, Jamie, you want to tell him, Marcy?
Yeah, pack a lunch.
All right.
Son of a...
Your category today is, what do you want?
Hockey would be nice.
Hockey it is. No, it's football. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. According to NCAA.com, which college football stadium holds the most fans with maximum capacity set at over 107,000?
I think it's the Big House, isn't it? I remember going to a game between Notre Dame and Michigan, and I forget what they announced, but it's definitely over 100,000. And I know they had over 100,000 people for the Red Wings Maple Leafs Winter Classic game. But then have 107, I don't know. I'm going to go with the Big House, Michigan. Final answer.
Question number 2. The Platypus Trophy is a trophy that is given out to the winner of the annual matchup in college football between which two cross-state rivals?
I actually know this. Oregon and Oregon State. Yeah, final answer.
All right.
Okay.
Question number 3. After coaching Toledo in 1990, Nick Saban was the coach at which university before his tenures at LSU and Alabama?
Okay. After coaching where?
After coaching at Toledo in 1990, Nick Saban was the coach at which university before his tenures at LSU and Alabama?
Ooh, that's a good question. Options.
Is it Louisiana Lafayette, Kennesaw State, or Michigan State?
So his next stop was LSU. So I'll go with Louisiana. What's it? Louisiana State?
Louisiana Lafayette?
Yeah, I'll go with Louisiana Lafayette, and that's just because I think it's that. Final answer.
Question number 4. In his college football coaching career, how many national championships did Nick Saban win?
7, isn't it? Hang on, Stu. Hang on. Yeah, I think it's 7. I remember them talking about this. And if you give me the options, you're probably going to be like 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. 7, final answer.
All right. You ready to...
Sure.
All right. Well, let's start there.
Oh, no.
In his college football career, how many national championships did Nick Saban win? Sean, with the options, you took 8. Jamie, without the options, you said 7. The correct answer is?
It is 7.
No.
Jamie, you're up 2-0.
Yes.
Good job, Jamie.
Thank you.
Go up. Number 3. After coaching Toledo in 1990, Nick Saban was the coach at which university before his tenures at LSU and Alabama? Sean, you said Kennesaw State. Jamie, you said Louisiana because he was at LSU. Sounds like it should be Louisiana Lafayette. The correct answer is?
It is Michigan State.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Still 2-0. Jamie. Question number 2 as we go backwards. The Platypus Trophy is a trophy that is given out to the winner of the annual matchup in college football between which two cross-state rivals? Sean, you said TCU and North Texas sounds right. Jamie, you said, I know this one. Oregon versus Oregon State. The correct answer is?
It is the Oregon Ducks and the Oregon State Beavers.
Yeah, they...
Platypus, there you go.
It's a big hunk of like wood, it looks like.
Yeah.
It's awful.
How you know that? I didn't know.
It's like one of those random things that's just stuck in my head.
Final question. According to NCAA.com, which college football stadium holds the most fans with a maximum capacity set at over 100,000? Sean, without the options, you said Ohio State. Got to be the Horseshoe.
Ooh, it's big.
Jamie, you said Michigan, because I remember the Winter Classic and football game there, and it's definitely over 100,000. Correct answer is?
It is the Big House.
Yes! Sean.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Not today.
Jamie got you 6-0.
Wow, great job, Jamie. You rolled me like Cheech and Chong, man.
That is very well said, my friend.
Sean's had some doozies these past few days.
Those doobies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Sean, we really appreciate you listening and playing, buddy. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and try not to melt out there if you're outside.
No, exactly. I'm going to crush a man's soda and jump in my pool, buddy.
There you go, man. There you go. Have a great time, brother. Thanks again.
Yeah, you too. You guys are great, man.
I
Take care.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right.
Usually, Usually Marshy beats these guys.
I know, the good guys.
The good guys.
Yeah. I couldn't beat him. He's a good guy. I couldn't beat him, man. Too nice of a guy.
Oh, man.
Good job, Jamie.
Yeah, thanks.
Football, you rolled that one.
Couple of, like Cheech and Chong. Yeah. Couple of questions there that fell into my wheelhouse, so very fortunate. Very fortunate.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Way to stop up.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're patting my back.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
I know you do.
I'd bury that guy for you.
I know.
All right. We asked for your mic drops regarding Oli Marmol and if he can win over this fan base or if he is winning over this fan base. Well, we got some mic drops. We'll get into those when we come back here in the Fast Lane at 101 ESPN.
look at this series, you look specifically at today's game, that's the style of baseball that the city subscribes to. I mean, we applied pressure nonstop today. The way that game started with Webb, I mean, Wynn hits it, Burleson goes ahead and knocks him in. A couple pitches later, he's standing on second. He takes 2 bags. Pajas takes a bag. I mean, you go down the list, and it was nonstop pressure. If they gave us an inch, we took every bit of it. And that's the style of baseball we need to keep playing. And if you look back at the last month, guys are pretty convicted about that style of ball. It's looked better, and we're starting to get healthy as well, which is also a really, really good thing.
All right, that was manager Oli Marmol following the game yesterday. It's the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter out until Friday. So when I heard that audio, guys, and I put it in the chat, our little group text, so basically saying, can Oli Marmol win over the fans? Like, is it possible? Because he said a couple things in that audio. The one that stuck out for me is just talking about how the baseball fans here, you know, they know their baseball. They understand the style of baseball that the Cardinals are going to play. And I'm wondering if people can start to change their opinion on Oli. And I know a lot of people right now are probably screaming at their radios or whatever they're listening to. Nah, I'm not changing anything. But I bet you there are some that are saying, you know what? Maybe Oli doesn't suck as much as we thought he did. Maybe, the players are starting to play better like they should have from the beginning. Carey, where are you on this?
I think there's a documentary I watched some years ago. There's a manager, his name was Lou Brown, and they had to, they were trying to move the team out of the city. The owner didn't like the manager or the team at all, really. And the manager said, we got to win this whole thing. And that was really the only way to get everybody on board in the documentary, where the fans and the city would be appreciative because they hated the team as well. And so I feel like Oli needs to have a Lou Brown moment where we got to win this whole, win it all in order for the city to embrace him. And you've seen that documentary, right, Marshall?
Yeah, I think there might be 2 of them.
Yeah, they had a follow-up one. Yeah.
So,
it's good stuff.
It was a good documentary. So I think you got to do that. You got to win it all.
But that sure would be nice.
I think that's the only way that the fans will be appreciative of one Oli Marmol.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad the expectations aren't too high. That's for sure.
I think you're wrong, though. I think there are a lot of people out there.
That's the
it's
only way.
either championship or bust for them.
Or
They'd
get
probably
the hell
still
out.
say fire him anyways.
They may,
That's the thing, though. Like, do you want this team to succeed? Because if you don't, then that means you don't want the manager to succeed. If the Cardinals are winning, he's not going anywhere. So you might as well root for him, because he, in what you're saying is, like, he has that much say over what happens on the baseball field, and why not root for the guy? Because you're rooting for your team. Well, but if you don't like this team and you want him to go, then I understand that. And if you're going to be in that camp, then stay in that camp.
It's a real Stalter's choice.
I think winning is a cure-all. I think if you're able to win and win it all, obviously people love you then, as much as they may hate you now. Like, when you win it all, people look at you differently. Like, you have a different aura about you when you win a championship. And so I think if he were, I honestly don't think it's enough to make a deep play or a playoff run or make it to the wild card and be ousted and just say, we fought back, we were down so many games to start the season, we are headed. I don't think that's enough. Like, I think for people to appreciate him, I think they have to win all of it, almost. I don't know if NLCS is sufficient enough. I don't know if making it to the World Series and losing is enough. It feels like you need to win it all for people to appreciate your ability to manage this team.
Well, let's find out what some of our listeners think. We asked for mic drops regarding this, and the mic drop line is still open, and it will be open throughout the rest of the show because we will revisit this again in the 5 o'clock hour. But we get a mic drop from Kevin.
As far as I'm concerned, Oli would have to go to bat, hit a bases empty grand slam, serve me free beer to get on my good side. I'm staying consistent. I don't think he's the right manager. Bring in Joe Madden.
Well, again, we have some people that are just set. It doesn't matter. Oli won. He's not going to be able to get to at bat.
And hit a bases empty grand slam is virtually impossible.
Bases empty grand slam?
Yeah. It's impossible. That would be just a home run.
He could give us a free beer, though.
Ooh, first free beer. Free beer Friday.
On the manager?
Yeah, why not?
They should have Oli deliver a free beer to somebody.
Listen, you ask me to deliver a beer, it's going to end up in somebody's face if I'm the manager. The hell with that.
I don't blame
you. Not everybody's going to agree with what I'm about to say, but I do think that your manager needs to go through spurts of losing. You can't really learn from anything if you're consistently doing everything correctly. That's not even, I don't know if that's even possible, where one guy is a manager or a head coach and all of a sudden he's just perfect for his entire career. There are certain obstacles that managers, head coaches go through that allow them to understand, okay, this was not the right decision. Let me figure out what I can do to be able to make the right decision when it presents itself again. I think you need to go through the peaks and valleys of being a manager. Hell, players do the same thing. Why can't a manager do the same thing?
Lack of patience. I think...
And that's fair. I understand, especially with this fan base.
Well, any fan base. I think sports have kind of changed to, the last 15, 20 years, 25 years, where 3 years, 4 years, people have the book on you. They know exactly who you are and who you aren't. And if you aren't able to show progress in that time, which is really not enough time, whether it's college or pro, then people think, that person is not the right person for the job. Let's restart. But what it really does is it restarts everything, because now you got a different philosophy. Now the way that you did do things, that new coach may come in and change them. So it could reset the process and make your team not good for another 3 to 4 years. And I think bad organizations are often changing managers, changing coaches, because they don't know what philosophy they want and they don't know how to stick with the plan.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we got another one here from Sweet Voice James.
Good Monday afternoon, you guys. Look, I don't have a problem with Oli. I've never had a problem with Oli. I was never kind of against him. I question some of his decisions and moves? Sure. I think everybody does that with a manager. But I'm fine with Oli. I know a lot of people aren't, and you're going to get a lot of mic drops that, he cannot do anything. Best thing he can do is get fired. Then I'll be on his side. Or, I think that we've seen that in every sport, whether it's hockey, whether it's baseball, whether it's football, any of the 4 major sports, the coaches are hired so they can be fired. And unfortunately, that's the case. And Cardinal fans, I'm going to say this, but I think we're kind of entitled and spoiled when it comes to managers because of Whitey and because of Tony La Russa and even Joe Torre when he was here. We've always had a high standard for our managers, and a lot of people are going to feel that, Oli is nothing more than Mike Matheny. So I've never had a problem with Oli. That's my personal look at it. Like I said, everybody's going to always question a manager's moves or what could he have done better. But when it comes down to it, I'm kind of with Carey. When it comes to any sport, the players have to execute. The manager's not swinging or throwing the ball. Have a great show, boys.
But he can give us a free beer, right?
If he wanted to, yeah, of course. I'm not going to say no.
There's a text from Marshy Stash in the Snake Pit. Oli's decisions he controls are 50-50 and dependent on the players doing their job. The complaints about the roster decisions are out of his hands. People that don't like him are plainly just ignorant. So,
yeah,
you have no control over the roster, right? That's not your job. That's someone else's job. So if the players, and then you have no control over whether or not a player gets a hit with runners in scoring position. All I can do is set the lineup up and give you the opportunity. I have no control over, my second baseman or my shortstop airmailing a ball over the first baseman's head. That I didn't do that. I didn't. As much as you want to blame Oli for that, that's not his fault. So there are certain things that are out of his control. If you want to micromanage his decisions with taking pitchers out with 70 pitches and feeling like that guy should stay in, okay. But if the next pitcher gets the guy out, what difference does it make? We get out of the inning cleanly, no harm, no foul. So there are hundreds of decisions throughout a game that you have to make. And I think for the most part, he's done a really good job of making those decisions. The only complaint I had last year was the inconsistency in the lineup, which was similar this year to start the year. And that for me was the main thing. that I could think of.
Yeah, but was that an Oli thing or a player thing?
Well, the inconsistency in the lineup, meaning having people all over the place, not having a solidified lineup day to day.
But again, the players were crap too.
Well, I mean,
so
then
that
you got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
You start, you start pulling names out of a hat at some point almost. Trying to find something.
You're not wrong.
It is a thankless job, right? Like,
yes. Well, it's like being a referee for me.
Yeah.
Half the fan base loves the referee when he makes a call for a penalty.
Sure.
The other half of they hate him. Mm-hmm. So for me here in St. Louis, I think the Cardinals fan base is when Oli makes a decision and it works out. They're supposed to praise him. They don't, though.
Because it's expectations.
Well, that's what he's supposed to do.
Right.
But then as soon as there's a situation where he pulls a pitcher out a batter too late or a batter too early or whatever, then it's, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
But it's a judgment decision. And every decision how many decisions do we make throughout the day? Every single one of them are not correct, but they're not magnified on a baseball field with, thousands of people watching.
They're not evaluated on the spot.
Every decision, man.
In normal life, you have control over your decision.
Correct.
And what you do with that, whereas his decisions are in the hands of other people.
Correct.
Essentially. And I don't want people to get confused. Like, if this team was not in a good spot right now, I think we would be criticizing Oli and his decision making and whatnot, and the roster, and we'll throw Mo in there as well. But they're in a playoff spot. They're playing decent baseball, depending on when you want to go back and look.
Well, it doesn't matter. They just won 3 in a row.
They just won 3 in a row. So
you can never be upset when your team wins 3 in a row. Even if you beat a crap team, it doesn't matter. You just won 3 in a row.
And they beat a team that we talked about it last week. MLB Power Rankings. The San Francisco Giants were above the Cardinals. So if you want to look at it from that perspective,
there you go.
You beat a team that is quote-unquote better than you.
Well, we'll be revisiting this at 5 o'clock. So, again, get your mic drops into the 101 ESPN mobile app. There's a little microphone. Just click that button and let us know what you think of Oli Marmol and if he can win you back or any comment you want regarding the manager himself, and whether it's positive or if it's negative. We'll air all that out at 5 o'clock. But what we have coming up next here is the Sports Six-Pack. So get your questions in to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack next here on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals sweep the San Francisco Giants over the weekend. A 5-3 victory yesterday. Sonny Gray went 7 innings, only gave up 1 hit. That 1 hit was a home run, but he struck out 8 in the Cardinals' victory. The Cards will look to extend their winning streak as they take on the Atlanta Braves tonight. Lance Lynn on the mound going up against Spencer Schwellenbach. First pitch is at 6:45. We are taking your mic drops. We just talked about it. Can Oli Marmol win over this fan base? Let us know. Send us a mic drop. Text us, the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll also have a sports six-pack coming up next, so ask us some questions. We'll dive into that. And, of course, after the show at 6:30, we'll have the pregame show for Game 7 between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. Once again, sports six-pack coming your way next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy. Together we drive. Are you kidding me?
I have a question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter out until Friday. And it's time for the Sports Six-Pack.
Question number 1.
I really like this first question from Justin. If Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are both kept in check and do nothing, and the Oilers come back to win the Stanley Cup, how did it happen?
Stuart Skinner, goaltender. I think his save percentage in games, 4, 5, 6, or from game 4 in every series, it's like 989 or something stupid like that. He has been exceptional for the Oilers, where he may have been a problem for them earlier in the playoffs, so much so that they even went with their backup goaltender for, I believe, 1 or 2 games? Then he got back in, and then, the start of this series was not pretty for Stuart Skinner. But since Game 3, he's had it on lockdown. So I think that if the Oilers win tonight and McDavid and Draisaitl have very little to do with it, it's because Stuart Skinner had the game of all games.
Question number 2.
From the 267, what are your guys' opinions on the concept of a hot take? I feel like they're almost always contrived, disingenuous, and just used to stir up controversy.
Sometimes.
Some people are making an awful lot of money with hot takes.
It is what it is,
Stephen A. Smith?
I don't always agree with it because I do think it is disingenuous. It's not, you put a topic out there and you have Max Kellerman, for the life of me, I cannot get this take out of my brain when he said, if the Martians came down to Earth and I had one person in the world to take a 3, Andre Iguodala. Steph Curry's right there.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing? It made me feel dirty. And I know I have to believe in my heart of hearts, there's no way in the world he actually believed that. But he said it. And he stuck with it. Yeah. And I didn't like it.
Or
so hot takes are...
Tom Brady would fall off a cliff and proceeded to play for 10 more years.
That was just a mistake. That was a mistake. Yeah.
That's the one I was like, really, bro? But listen, this not shock jock, but this hot take world that we're in, this is what works now.
Yeah.
I don't like it either.
Get you paid.
I understand it. These guys are on TV 5 days a week making millions of dollars to not even have an educated opinion. They just have to have an edgy take on something.
Yeah.
And be
something that gets people to click on their link and
or watch their show.
What is that? Yeah. It's unfair. It's unfortunate.
It's a tough way to do it because no matter what, you're pissing somebody off. And the thing is they don't really believe half the stuff they're saying. They just do it because they get the popularity out of it.
It's not just
it's
sports.
Selling your soul.
Yeah, it's not
much.
just sports. It's some media, some news channels. You know, some people say things that you're just like, wow, really?
They don't even have to be true, kid.
No. It was on TV. They said it. It was on the internet. Yeah, do some research.
Yeah.
See if it's real.
We try not to hot take here in the fast lane too
Except
much.
for on Thursdays with hot take or hot garbage.
Yeah. But those aren't our hot takes.
That's true. We just decide.
I'm sure we have at some point.
Do you think so?
Inadvertently? I don't know.
I think if we say it, like, I've seen you say some things, I'm like, he's crazy. But you believed it. Like, it wasn't like, what the hell is he thinking? And I know I've said some things like, Carey's lost his damn mind today.
Yeah.
But I believed it.
Yeah.
It's not a hot take if you believe it. Yeah. I believe it.
What's the difference between a hot take and a prediction?
Well, a prediction on a game or on a situation is one thing. A hot take is just a rash opinion about something.
Mm-hmm. So there's no prediction within the hot take, or could there be both?
Well, like the Tom Brady thing.
Yeah,
He's going to drop off a cliff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more of a hot take than a prediction.
Correct.
You know, like a true prediction would be well thought out and say, hey, you know what?
Based on this, and this, based on a series of events that have led me to believe that this is the case.
Right.
This is why I believe this is going to happen. That's like I thought that the Oilers would win the series. You thought I was crazy.
Well, I still do think you're
Well,
crazy.
damn, you didn't
It
think
actually
it.
has nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Just from talking to you on a daily basis.
you got a point there. All right, I'll give you that.
Yeah, when I called Ivan Herrera hitting a home run on opening day, I had so many statistics and just things to back me up before I made that prediction.
Great prediction.
Just
by
so
you.
many statistics.
Great hot take you made.
Yeah.
Sometimes it hits.
Yeah, it does.
And you get paid millions if it hits.
Well, I'm not.
What question are we on?
Well, let's do one more and then maybe we roll it over.
All right.
Question number 3.
From the 314, even if we end up missing the playoffs or get bounced in the first round, could this year be considered a failure if so many of our young players have finally developed into potential stars / core pieces?
Are we talking Blues or Cardinals? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk both?
Okay. So talking Cardinals first on this, how is it ever a failure when your young players develop into core pieces?
It's not. It's good.
It's like the failure is Goldie and Arenado not performing to their level, but when Burleson, if Jordan Walker comes back into the fray, like all of these younger players.
Ivan Herrera. Like, you've seen some good things.
Siani's come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
His bat doesn't play very well, but man, defensively, he's one of the best center fielders in the entire league.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing if you're young players, because what it does is it gains them experience. They gain a year of knowledge. They understand when they come back the following year. You still may be a young player, but you have, games under your game film under your belt where you had success. So I think that always, it helps with confidence, knowing that you can do it at a high level, whether it's NHL or Major League Baseball. You have done it, and so the confidence is there to do it again, to repeat that. So it does make your team better. It does allow you. It should allow you to continue to ascend in the right direction.
Well, and if we take it and talk about the Blues real quick, if your young guys are not just a part of your team, they're part of your core, and that's fantastic because you've got cost controlled talent now that you can go and spend money towards the salary cap on other pieces to add to it. So, yeah, for the Blues, it's almost essential that their young guys perform that way. All right, we're going to take a little bit of a breather here. What did we get to 2? We got 3 questions in. We'll continue when we come back here with the 6-pack on 101 ESPN. Gentlemen, if you're wanting to perform well when it comes time for the game time, if you know what I'm talking about, then you have to make sure that you're taking the right ED meds and that you're not paying too much for those ED meds. Head over to the Medicine Shop in St. Charles, your destination for cheap ED meds. They have a generic called Sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. Again, less than $2 a pill. Prescription is required. They got a fantastic pharmacy as well. All of their representatives are phenomenal at answering all of your questions, whether it's cold and flu season, maybe allergies, maybe you twisted an ankle and you're looking for a proper wrap or a medicine that can help you through the pain. They will guide you in the right direction. They also have a fantastic program that lets you cash in on the savings with free discreet shipping and delivery to your home or your workplace of any medicines that you take on a regular basis. So if you have a busy, crazy schedule and you can't get to the pharmacy, the Medicine Shop will come to you. I use this program. I love it. It's absolutely phenomenal. So please take advantage of all that. And also take advantage of checking out their new website to find out any more information that you're looking for. That new website is stcharles.medicineshop.com. That's stcharles.medicineshop.com.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
It's a Fast Lane here at 101 ESPN. We're continuing with our Sports Six-Pack. Marshy, go for it.
Question number 4.
All right, we got a question from the 314. What would you rather watch live? Legit jousting or Game 7 tonight?
Oh, Game 7. Jousting? Like swords?
Like,
isn't that when the horses run at each other and the knights they have those things those sticks sticking out and they boom?
Yeah, I don't need to see that.
I'd rather see
kind of cool though.
I'd rather see a hockey hit. Same concept. Two guys going one way.
And you got your own. You got a stick there. You can technically.
I mean, you could be highly frowned upon.
Would it?
But I have seen it done.
I showed you that video where the guy hit him with the stick and then tried to skate off and the entire team.
I seen a guy one time spear a guy. I swear what he tried to do is spear him and parade around the ice with the guy's liver on the end of his stick.
Didn't work out.
It was
well
like a full
he tried to go through.
And the stick disappeared 5 inches into the guy's gut.
That's not good.
No, it couldn't have felt very good either, that's for sure.
Give me Game 7 either way.
Game 7, man, come on.
Yeah,
down in Florida?
Yeah, it's going to be great. But I have been watching a lot of Game of Thrones lately. Of course, the new season, House of the Dragon.
Whoa.
There's some jousting in season 1.
What? What are you talking about?
Wait, what'd you just say?
He said it's not real.
It's not real, guys.
What are you talking about?
It's fake.
Jeez.
You're telling me all that didn't happen? Whoa.
Oh, now you've done it, Jamie.
What?
You wait a minute.
What?
You, sir, have gone too far. I'll let a lot of things slide.
Yeah.
But no.
Sorry, guys.
All right.
You're telling me that the Wyatt Six didn't kill all of those wrestlers last week on Monday Night Raw? I saw Chad Gable looked like he got shot in the head. You're telling me that was fake?
Listen to me. That was a harder pill to swallow than, I can't say the other one because I have children listening, but.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I cried.
Next question.
Oh, my.
Question number 5.
Oh, boy. All right, from the 217. Jamie, do you like how long this Stanley Cup final has been strung out so long? It just seems like a really short off season.
Yeah, I don't like the way it's stretched out like this. A lot of the media have been talking about it, too, and I'm sure the NHL is aware. Gary Bettman and the NHL staff are not fools. I mean, the game has been growing at a rapid pace. Revenues are high. Viewership is up. You can't be dragging it into the end of June like this. Start the season a little earlier. You've got this training camp starts second week of first or second week of September, and then middle of October you start you don't need 7 preseason games. You don't.
You want to push it back a little bit?
No, you move it forward.
Oh, okay.
So that this Game 7 would have been
in May?
First week of June.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, June 12th is Game 7 of 2019.
Yeah, and after in that era of the league, they were talking about moving it up even closer, like the end of May. So I don't know how we ended up where it's June 24th here.
Well,
for
we're having
Game 7.
3 different, we're having 3 days in between games.
For travel, though. I get that. I respect the move for both teams, the league being smart, because ordinarily it's 1 day off.
Yeah. But travel,
that'd be a rough
that's
go.
a long flight.
It's the longest in the history of the NHL playoffs.
I know a lot of people were wondering, well, why wasn't Game 7 on Sunday night and whatnot? I also heard that Mondays are better for viewership. Is that, do you guys know?
They usually have the national championship game on
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
So there must be something to it. Otherwise, you'd have Tuesday Night Football.
I mean, I'm all about
keep Jamie, please.
I'm all about having the game on tonight.
Bright ideas you got here. No, every day of the week except for Friday.
Football should just play more games. Really.
Yeah, they should add an extra week.
Gosh, they got that cush schedule.
What? I challenge you to wake up Monday morning and tell me how the hell you feel.
Oh, trust me, I've been there.
Then
just for different reasons.
Yeah.
Question number 6.
Are we on question 6 or are we on question 5?
I thought we were on 5.
Oh, maybe we are on 5. That was just a long answer.
6?
No, that was 6. Yeah, that was 6.
Yeah, the jousting was the first
Yes,
one.
you're right. You're right. All right, this one comes from the Water Boy, who tells CD and Jamie what segment is coming up 5 seconds before you go live.
This is
a great question.
This is probably the best question we've had.
Question of the day, quite honestly.
It's a challenge, Jamie.
Well, we're forced to pay attention.
We really are.
Anthony's not here.
We really are.
Let's just be real.
I haven't asked you one time what's next because I actually have paid attention.
Yeah.
It's like, having Anthony, he does such a great job. He does such a great job that we turn our brains off often.
Correct.
And no longer listen when he's teasing the next segment. I have no clue. Like the last 30 seconds when he takes over, it's like, brain off, no need to listen, because I know he got it.
Yeah, he's got it.
And he does a great job.
He'll remind
I kind of feel bad now.
He is absolutely mother fast laning his radio right now.
These guys know everything that's coming up. That's a good question, Waterboy. We
We're
know.
like children.
We are.
We pay attention when we have to. Yeah. And Anthony is like our parent. He affords us the ability to be donkeys and ask him 5 seconds before it starts.
We appreciate you. We miss you.
We miss you, Anthony.
We are locked in today.
And we'll really try harder from now on.
Speak for yourself.
I think Jamie is going to do such a great job these next 4 days that he might even take off Friday.
Oh, you know what? He probably will.
Yeah.
There is a performance clause in my contract that says that if I put together a string of 4 days that are really good, I can take a day off.
Yeah.
And I thank Tommy Madden for that. It was his idea.
I need that in my contract going forward.
All right, that was the Sports Six Pack. We appreciate all your participation for that. But we also asked for more participation. We're keeping you guys busy today. And we asked for mic drops regarding Oli Marmol. I just sort of blanket statement the thing and said, listen, can he change your mind? Do you like Oli? Can he be a better manager? Anything you're wanting to air it out, that's coming up next here on 101 ESPN.
Marmol, what you gonna do? What you gonna do to make us trust you? You got to go, don't hey.
Okay. It's a fast lane here at 101 ESPN. That was Luke with a rendition of Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Creative at the start. The back end of that got messy.
Well, nobody knows those words, so it doesn't matter.
Not really sure what.
Have you guys seen the new Bad Boys movie?
I have not. Don't sell me. I want to see it.
Oh, I haven't seen it either. I was just wondering if it was,
guys, I saw
if
it.
it was good as the other one.
Stop it.
I haven't seen it.
Nah.
I got no time
You don't
for
have
that.
time.
I got no time. No, you're right. You're bang on there. All right, so we've talked about Oli Marmol, and all of this kind of got started when I listened to Oli have his presser following their third win against the Giants, and he just talked to me. He was saying the right things about this team to baseball people. And I thought to myself, can Oli win over this fan base? Well, I'm finding out quickly that the answer is probably no. But
it is, and it's so weird because we do have recency bias. We always focus on the last thing that we saw. But what did the Cardinals do in 2022? Do you remember?
I think they were terrible, Carey.
In 2022?
22.
Oh, that's right. No, they were good.
They got to the wild card.
Sorry, I thought it was 2023.
Quintana pitched the first game.
Yeah.
Michaelis pitched the second game.
What was their anybody know the
They
record?
won 91 games.
Yeah, who was the manager that year? It's like just like every segment I have to
it
ask.
was Mike Shell.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
It was Oliver Marmol.
So why do we skip past? Why do we forget 2022?
Oh, it was Albert and Yachty and Wayno.
So that's who it was. It wasn't like you can't. So so it was those players. So then it's not those players, but it's his fault because he picked the players that are on the roster, right?
No, he doesn't, Carey.
So the players won in 2022. The good players.
Yeah.
The bad players lost. No. In 2023, but that's his fault.
It's Ollie's fault. It's clearly his fault.
It's amazing. I don't claim to be the brightest bulb or the brightest crayon in the box, but that doesn't make sense to me. Can you explain it, sir?
No, I can't.
Okay.
I've asked the same question.
That's weird.
Myself a number of times.
I might be able to answer that. I think it's because Anthony did not have the blame Oli Marmol machine. It was created last season, and so it wasn't made in 2022.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can come up with.
So we blame the manager when the team does poorly. We praise the players when the team does well.
There you go. Bingo.
And the manager, when you're winning, has nothing to do with it. But when you're losing, it's all on
Unless
on him.
you're Mike Schilt or Tony La Russa.
Wow. It's true.
Or Whitey Herzog.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget Whitey.
How does this work, guys? Yeah. Can you can't give me any in-depth reasoning? No sound explanation?
You need to take all reasoning out, Carey. That's what you have to do.
That's awful.
That is sports, though. That's sports. Whether we like it or not, that's with any team in any sport.
It's ridiculous, though. Like, is it not? Like, the Cardinals win 93 games in 2022, and we don't give the manager any praise. They lose 91 games in 23, and we give the manager all the blame.
Yeah.
He didn't sign one player to that roster. And that roster had guys like Taylor Motter playing
the Mott sauce
a lot of games. No offense
you
to
watch
Taylor.
your mouth.
I love Taylor. I love the flow, love the hair. It was amazing. But he was playing a lot.
Too much, some would say.
He was playing a lot. He was playing a hell of a lot.
He was playing a lot of games.
Yeah.
He did.
He probably shouldn't have. Probably wouldn't have played a lot of games.
That's because Ollie kept playing him.
He was there.
We ask for a consistent lineup, and you gotta have consistency.
Yeah. Listen,
we did get a text though, which I think probably is the real answer why fans don't really subscribe to Oli Marmol being their favorite manager. From the 314, I apologize for adding on, but it seems like because Oli is Mo's guy, he can't be our guy.
Yeah, every manager is always... Mike Schilt was Mo's guy, too. Tony La Russa was Mo's guy. Well, Walt Jocketty's guy. Whatever, like... That's the way it works. That's why they get hired, is because the general manager, the president, is the one who hires them. Yeah, anyways, let's get to Aaron here with a mic drop.
I'm all about giving Oli the chance. It's not necessarily him. He's the kind of guy they want who's just going to do what they tell him. So until they decide that's not how it's going to be, what's the difference if it's him or not? But for him to stay around and be happy, for me to be happy with Oli as the coach, we got to win a playoff series and not just get spanked if we make it, because making it is not good enough, especially on a year like this where the National League is just terrible. I mean, we should definitely make the playoffs. Even if we're barely over 500, we can make the playoffs. So to me, that's not good enough. We got to actually win at least one series, preferably two, and maybe just show some wins with authority, like not even close, we just dominate. That's what it would take for me.
All right, Aaron, thank you.
Winning.
For the mic drop. Winning cures all.
All right.
Even if you're a horrible coach or a bad human being, winning cures everything.
Now, Jamie, you said a lot of things here, and that, sir, might be the best.
Just saying.
You could be, as long as you're winning.
Yeah. You can make the craziest decisions ever.
Did you win?
Yep, we won.
There you go.
Sometimes you win. Your players win despite the fact that you're a crappy coach or manager.
You've had a few of those guys, right?
Yeah, yeah, we have.
Go. No, there's a text from the 314. Geez, I'm telling you all, it's less about performance and more about personality. I hear it from other people as well. So now we don't like him. We don't like his personality.
I think there's a lot of people that don't appreciate the way that he speaks when he does his media. Post games. Not so much pre-games, but I think post-games. I think that might rub people the wrong way.
Well, I mean, if you definitely don't want to do that. But if you're losing, why do you think someone is going to be excited?
Oh, look,
like, what should it sound like when you lose? Well, this is our 8th loss in a row, but I'm positive, guys. I'm excited about where nobody. No. It's not great. It's not been good. Do I want to keep answering your questions about the lineup? No. Why aren't they hitting? Hell, why don't you go ask them?
Yeah.
I ain't
but
picked up a bat.
But there is a responsibility, kid. And I have gotten on Oli a couple of times this year where he's gotten a little bit pissy with people. And I'm just like, you can't do that. Like,
you cannot.
You can't do that.
But
it's part of the job, man.
He has shown some contrition at times as well.
Yes. A good word, by the way.
Thank
2
you.
points.
Like thank you. I marked that down.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, we got a couple more to get to here. Next up, Alan.
Good afternoon, boys. What does it matter what the fans think of Oli and whether he can win them back? This fan base spent nearly 10 years trying to run off Tony La Russa. If they can do that, it doesn't matter what Oli does. Have a good one.
That's pretty good.
Well,
I don't remember when they were trying to run off Tony La Russa.
They always the backup quarterback and the next manager are the favorite people of any team, of any fan, any fan base.
Well, not the Vikings.
Well, you guys. Well, yes, J.J. McCarthy is.
Apparently,
I meant last year.
The quarterback's also popular with the quarterback's wife.
Oh, Jamie.
Oh man, that was a bunch of BS.
She didn't have to do that.
I didn't like that.
Part?
She didn't either. The first or the second part. You didn't have to bring it up.
I didn't bring it up.
No, not
she
you.
Did.
She didn't have to bring it up.
She openly talked about it.
That's ridiculous. That would be grounds for me. Like, what are you doing?
I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Then go back to him now.
Yeah.
By the way, leave everything else here that we have done.
Enjoy.
Yeah, goodbye.
And we're referencing Jamie's favorite podcast host, Kelly Stafford. Matthew Stafford.
There would be
wife.
a Louisville Slugger that take it to all of her podcast material. That I can guarantee you. All right, you got one more here that we can get in. And is this the one and only? Lisa.
Hey, guys. So it would take a lot for somebody like me for him to win me over. But winning has a way of curing everything and not being a dumbass in October and pulling a pitcher that's only allowed 2 hits because the book says so. And I hope as he garners respects from the fans, he gets it from the front office more, where he can have a voice with the roster, and get athletes that he needs and wants into his dugout. So definitely you can win people over. Winning cures all. Winning cures all. So if he wins in October and he's not a ding-dong, sure, he can win me over. All right, thanks, guys.
All right. I think we found the source of people's anger. It would be when he pulled Quintana out of the game. Is that in the playoffs in 22?
Yeah.
I think that's the inception.
But ultimately,
is that when it began?
Yeah, I think so.
But ultimately, the ball ended up in Ryan Helsley's hand.
Well, his hand was almost broken.
Yeah,
like he had a finger
issue
that he didn't tell anybody that he hurt. I think when he fielded the ball a few days earlier in the game,
well, I think the regular season game, people did know that he had a hurt finger.
Then they shouldn't have played him.
But the player said he was good to go.
Yeah, but was he?
It's a tough call. It's a tough call.
Well, I wonder why. I wonder if that is some of the pushback that we see now with the starting pitchers, where they're being taken out early, and then we're seeing some of the relievers give up some runs. I wonder if they're having some deja vu there.
I'm looking at that game, and Quintana went 5 1/3. Jordan Hicks came in, went 2/3, finished that inning out. Gallegos came in, went an inning and a third. None of those guys gave up a hit.
Right.
Helsley came in the 9th, and
it blew up.
It blew up.
So you want a complete game.
So that moment, although you may not have wanted Quintana to be taken out of that game, Jordan Hicks came in and closed the door, made sure that nobody scored. Gallegos
was coming in no matter what.
He was coming in regardless.
Quintana was not going to pitch a complete game.
No. So I don't know whether I just don't know where the anger is for him.
And they still had to win. They still had a game the next day too. That wasn't.
They did.
It was like
it's over. Blame Bartman.
No, yeah, they still had another game to play. So it's weird. And look, I guess the book is still out there on Oli Marmol. There's some fans who are apathetic, that don't care at all. Some that will never like Oli Marmol. It's probably the same group that probably won't like the next manager either, if he's given the same roster and has the same results. But if Oli gets back into the playoffs this year, I think you have to start at least giving him some credit for being able to do his job correctly. That's just my opinion. Time will tell. Time will tell. All right, it's the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Game 7 tonight in the NHL Stanley Cup Final. It's going to be an unbelievable event. But my guy Marshy posed a question that what is at stake tonight other than the Stanley Cup? Ooh, spicy. We'll get into that next here in the Fast Lane. Jamie Rivers back with you here, and I'm joined by my good buddy Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. And Stewie, I heard there's some good news that rates are dropping a little bit.
They're dropping a little bit, and this is important because if you got a mortgage last year and you're paying in the upper sevens or you're paying an FHA loan, you can refinance right now for free, no closing costs at all, save 0.25%. That old rule of thumb of saving 1%, you got to do that in order to be worthwhile to refinance. Doesn't apply when there's no cost. This morning I was talking to a guy, and he says to me, you know what, how much can I save? I said, you're going to save $63 a month. He said, $63 a month, that's not much. It's not worth my time and effort. So I said to him, you know what, forget about it, the whole thing. For the next 30 years, write me a check for $63. How do you feel now? all of a sudden you fill out the application, we got him locked, and he's going to close in 10 days. So you know what? It's different when you have to take action, but when you think about it the other way and you have to make the payment, then all of a sudden people wake up. Take the advantage of the opportunity now. Get the lower payment. Later on, rates go down. We can do it again.
Stewie, that's exactly why you need to be everyone's first call. You got to give you a call and talk to you, pick your brain, and then listen to you, just like that customer did in saving himself some money there. So please pick up the phone, call our guy Stewie at 314-324-4440. Again, that's 314-324-4440, or you can always Google the bagel loan. Stewie, thanks so much, brother.
NMLS number 226715.
It's a Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, myself, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter out until Friday. All right, boys. Game 7 tonight in the Stanley Cup final. Certainly understand that there's a Stanley Cup that's at stake. There's rings. There's all sorts of stuff. There's parties. Everything's at stake. But Marshy, my guy Marshy, he's got a different idea. Marshy, what are your thoughts here?
So obviously, like you just mentioned, the Stanley Cup is on the line, and I think that probably is the top priority for all of these players and, you know, for the staff and the fans. But what legacies are on the line tonight? You think of Connor McDavid, he's obviously one that jumps out, but what about guys like Sergei Bobrovsky, Matthew Tkachuk, hell, even Paul Maurice, head coach of the Florida Panthers? What is at stake for those guys other than winning the Stanley Cup, or does it sort of just play into winning the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, so getting to a Stanley Cup final is next to impossible. Never mind winning it. It's very difficult to even get there. To get there 2 years in a row, like the Panthers have, I mean, you have to win it. I know the Buffalo Bills, 4 in a row, and they'll forever be famous for that. I can't even imagine how that felt for those guys. But Florida Panthers getting to the final again. So what's at stake? For Paul Maurice, he's been coaching in the NHL for like 30 years. He's never won a Stanley Cup. Matthew Tkachuk, what's at stake? His dad, Keith Tkachuk, one of the greatest careers as a power forward in the NHL, a U.S. Hockey Hall of Famer, should be a Hockey Hall of Famer. Hopefully that's coming soon. Never won a cup. So when you think about it that way, what's at stake? Your legacy could be at stake. Because that's probably the only thing that's holding Keith Tkachuk out of the Hall of Fame as of yet is, well, how many cups did he win?
Yeah.
How many championships did he win? So it's wild to think about it that way.
Yeah, legacies are at stake. You always talk about, who are the greatest to never win a championship as if it's an individual award. It is a team award, but when you are one of the greatest players or considered the greatest, if you don't have a championship behind your name, it always feels like an asterisk. Dan Marino, Charles Barkley. Like you put an asterisk, yeah, but they were great, but. And so I think that's what's on the line tonight, not winning that champ. Same thing for coaches. Like if you don't have a championship next to your name, that could be the thing that keeps you from being a Hall of Fame caliber coach or considered a Hall of Famer. So the game tonight is so exciting because Game 7 is football. We don't have that. We got one game, and it is your Game 7. It's the game that you have to win. And so I think the legacies, the career trajectories, the amount of money you can make, whether it be from contracts or from sponsorships and things of that nature, come from winning a championship. There's a lot on the line, for these players tonight. And to me, I think it's going to be about who handles that stress the best, because for Edmonton, they've been playing like, we lose, we know what happens. We got to win, but it doesn't feel like they've been as stressed out. It feels like that final game to close it out for Florida has been stressful, and they have not been able to get over that hump. Well, now Edmonton that stress is there too. You win this game.
Finally,
finally there is some stress.
There is some stress on them because you win this game, you're a champion. Where if they won Game 5, they weren't going to be champions. If they won Game 6, they weren't going to be champions. But tonight, if you win, you are a champion. So now you start clinching a little bit more, a little bit more stressful. So it's going to be a good game tonight.
That's a great point, Carey, because the Oilers, up to this point, still today, we're listening to interviews and stuff like that, playing with house money.
Yeah.
They're down 3-0, supposed to lose a series. So, yeah, there's stress. You don't want to be eliminated.
Correct.
But you're kind of like, all right, well, it's 3. Like, let's just go play hard.
Yes.
We're the Oilers. We don't give up. Okay, great. Now, tonight, when you make a play, not only are you thinking about it could end up in the back of your net, but the flip side is you're also thinking about ending up in their net. Like the Oilers now, for the first time, are thinking about the ultimate defeat or the ultimate victory.
Correct.
Whereas the Panthers have been thinking about the ultimate victory for the last 3 games.
Yeah. It's stress no matter, but it's a different level of stress. Like, oh my God, I can be a champion tonight. Where the Oilers haven't had that, hadn't been on their mind for the last 3 games because they couldn't be a champion.
It is now, though.
It is now. Where the Panthers, they have been thinking about that.
Where does Connor McDavid rank if he wins tonight and the Oilers win the Stanley Cup? Where does he rank on the all-time greats in the NHL? Like, could he just win one Stanley Cup, and if this is the one, he's still top, I would say top 3.
Yeah.
But where does he rank with, like, the great one, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux?
It's tough. Those guys all won multiples, right? Like Mark Messier, 6 Stanley Cups. Wayne Gretzky, 4 Stanley Cups. With Mario, 2 or 3?
Hell, even Sidney Crosby has 3.
Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Like, McDavid's numbers will be really good as an individual, but if he only has 1 cup, which is still unbelievable to have 1 cup, but if he only has 1 cup, I don't know where he ranks amongst the champions.
Yeah.
Like Steve Yzerman. Like, you look at the guys, Nick Lidstrom, look at some of the guys that have won multiple cups that are phenomenal hockey players. Paul Coffey. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think McDavid has to win 2, maybe 3 to be in the same. Like, I think Mark Messier, 6 friggin' Stanley Cups. Like, bro, share a little bit.
Does his skill set, though, jump off the page compared to some of these other guys because the game has evolved?
It has, but then you also got to go back and look at the relevance of those players to their championships, respectively, right? So Steve Yzerman was the top scorer in the league. I'm not saying he was Connor McDavid, but he was one of the top 5 NHL scorers for a long time, and then rounded out his game and did other stuff in order for his team to win. So as a champion, what did he do to change the the narrative of him as a player and also bring a championship to his team and then bring multiple championships to his team. Mark Messier won 4 or 5 with the Oilers and then won another one with the Rangers.
Right.
So the fact that he won on 2 different teams, where does that, like, how much does that equate to? I think it's tough when you get into the weeds like this because each and every championship has a different value. Or what the player did is a different value to the championship.
Which is why I think if excuse me, if Connor McDavid is able to win a championship tonight, this one could catapult because you were down 0-3.
Yeah,
you were
and
not expected to even have an opportunity to be in this moment tonight, and yet here you are.
And you broke Wayne Gretzky's assist record in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that goes a long way.
I agree. I think that's the big one for Connor McDavid in this year's particular Stanley Cup is that his team won, but I can't say single-handedly, but he has been the biggest part of the success of the team. Of course, Stuart Skinner's had to have a good playoff. Dreisaitl's had a hell of a playoff. Bouchard has had a great playoff. But I think you'll see on every team where we talk about these elite players, they also had teammates that were elite, played very, very well. So I do think the story of, where Edmonton was, their coach getting fired, a lot like the Blues in 2019, and then being down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final, and Connor McDavid for the next couple of games, games 3 and 4, 4 and 5, he had 8 points in 2 games. Like, I think that speaks volumes as to what he brought to the table. So it's fun to sit there.
Be exciting
the thing about that is you could debate it for days. Weeks. Actually, you could debate it forever.
Right.
Because it's all hearsay. Because we don't really know exactly what the impact of one particular player is or how much credit the team gets for that.
Well, and the story is yet to be written, right? There's still one more game. Perhaps he has a Sidney Crosby-esque golden goal in Vancouver.
In 2010.
To win the Olympics. And win the gold medal. Who knows
what that moment looks like. I think that's important too.
Maybe he has 3-4 points tonight, or maybe he has nothing. Like in Game 6, 0 goals, 0 shots on net, and then if the Panthers win, then what's the story?
Couldn't get it done in the final game.
Right? All of a sudden, he's Joe Thornton.
It changes.
Oh man,
and
he's
I love
Anthony's
Jumbo.
favorite player.
I love Jumbo Joe. He's a great guy, but he's still one of the best players to ever play that never won a cup. So, tough one. Either way, tune in tonight. It's going to be an unbelievable game. Pre-game is starting here on 101 ESPN at 6:30, so you won't want to miss that. You certainly don't want to miss the game. Coming up next, we've got Beat the Streak and Biggest Question of the Day here on 101 ESPN.
Hey, BT here with you. I've been telling you all about the great deals that have been happening over at Diamonds Direct this June. Well, guess what? They have made June even better. Now through the end of the month, if you make any purchase of $10,000 or more, you get a free diamond tennis bracelet. So this would be the perfect time if you're ready to pop the question or go shopping for a big anniversary. There's no better time than right now. You can get the perfect ring and a second gorgeous gift this June from Diamonds Direct for absolutely free. And a tennis bracelet is perfect. I mean, this is a big deal. It's a jewelry wardrobe staple, and getting one for free? Are you kidding me? It doesn't get any better than that. These are perfect for birthdays, anniversaries, and of course, a wedding gift as well. I know my wife has been eyeing a diamond tennis bracelet. It's about time for me to get into Diamonds Direct. Check them out. This offer ends June 30th. Any purchase of $10,000 or more, get a free diamond bracelet. Get in there for the best quality price and shopping experience. It's Diamonds Direct. At Olive and 270 at City Place, it's Diamonds Direct.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals defeated the San Francisco Giants yesterday 5-3. They swept San Francisco, and they have a chance to take down the Atlanta Braves tonight as Lance Lynn will take the mound going up against Spencer Schwellenbach. First pitch is at 6:45. We have Game 7 for you for the Cup. Tonight, right here on 101 ESPN, the Florida Panthers going up against the Edmonton Oilers. Pregame starts at 6:30. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interview with Benjamin Hochman of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have Beat the Streak and Biggest Question of the Day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Welcome back here to the Fast Lane, 101 ESPN. It's that time of day. It's time for Beat the Streak, and we got our guy Brian back with us. Brian, how we doing?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
We're good, man. We're good. I mean, the Cardinals just swept the Giants. Carey's feeling great about that today. I mean, what could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Please don't.
All right. All right. So, Marshy, how about an update here? Please.
All right, let's look at Carey first because he has a streak of 12 right now. That's pretty damn good. So, Carey, I believe you're one hit away from tying Anthony Stalter from 2023, a streak of 13. No pressure at all. So you will go first. Going second will be Anthony, and we have his pick. I will go third. Then Brian will go fourth. He has a streak of 2. And then, unfortunately for Jamie, Nolan Gorman did not get a hit the last time he played Beat the Streak, so you will be going last.
Fine.
All right, well, again, if it ain't broke, I ain't going to fix it. Let me Mason win.
Oh, yeah, you got mad at me before for the Gorman thing.
Yeah, so what? No, it worked out well for you until it didn't.
So what?
Until it didn't. And then I was happy. And then if it doesn't work out for me, you'll be happy.
I don't like your attitude.
No, I'm sorry. I apologize.
At all.
Friends?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
So Anthony is going second. He picks Ozzie Albies.
Of course he did. Of course he did. That's Anthony right there. Smart play, actually.
I am going to go with an Atlanta Brave as well. In fact, he used to be a St. Louis Cardinal. He's having a hell of a season. Give me Spider-Man. Marcell Ozuna of the Atlanta Braves.
Gold sleeve.
Climb that damn wall, going to get that ball.
All right, Brian, you're up, man.
All right, I'm going to Riley.
Okay.
All right, Austin Riley.
Austin Riley.
Austin Riley, that's what I'm going with.
All right. Okay, now it's finally me, right?
Yep.
I'm doubling down. Nolan Gorman.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I know. I figure at some point he's got to hit one, right?
You think.
All right, Brian, we got it all set here. Good luck to you, and hopefully we're chatting to you again tomorrow.
All right, thank you. And, hey, do I have a minute?
Wow.
If I have a minute, Terry Davis.
Yeah.
I am a 1990 graduate of Hayeswood Central.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you guys have a good night.
All right, Brian, you too, buddy.
All right, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
You got it, bud.
All right.
Go Hawks.
I think Brian's already having a good night.
He might be.
Good for him,
Having
man.
a good time. Man, he's a Hawk. He's a good guy. It's good to go.
Excellent character.
I mean,
Good guy.
From the 90s when Hayeswood Central used to run things in sports.
Okay.
Not so much anymore.
Not so much anymore.
It's not our
There's coaching.
That's why he left.
All right, Marshy, time for biggest question of the day.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, Jamie, you teased it earlier in the show, so let's get to it. Did we underestimate how much value veteran leadership has in the Cardinals clubhouse?
Yeah, so this kind of came to light with Alec Burleson, and he was, asked about his hitting and whatnot. And Marcy, I don't know if we have the actual quote, but it was pretty phenomenal to hear what he said, and it was basically that Matt Carpenter was a big part of just helping him through certain situations and just recognizing that, hey, quit swinging at every pitch that's thrown out there. Find a good pitch,
right,
and then do damage. I'm paraphrasing a lot of that there because I can't find it either. But anyways, the question's more about leadership and having those guys in the clubhouse or the locker room. And Carey, I'll just go first. Yes.
Yeah.
It's very important to have good leadership in your locker room.
Yeah.
This is how guys who are no longer able to play at the level that they once played, this is how they become valuable to your organization. Right. If we're going to bounce around from sport to sport, the one that everybody recognizes and it's back into circulation is the Alex Steen situation with the Blues, where he was called upon to change his role, and as a good leader, he was there and he took the so-called demotion to the fourth line. But Steiner always kept helping his teammates, and he was there for the guys, and young guys, he built them up, he didn't tear them down, or he kicked them in the pants when he needed to because he knew they could play better. So, yeah, and Carey, I'm sure you have personal experiences too. But yeah, good leadership is essential for any winning franchise.
Yeah, it helps with the younger players. It helps. It actually helps with the coaching staff because it becomes a voice in that locker room or in that clubhouse that the players will listen to that are peers and not, management, so to speak. So I think it helps in a couple of ways. And when you have a guy, if you're a younger player, kind of trying to figure out your role or your spot or how to fit in on a team, talking to that veteran player that probably has gone through some of the things you're struggling with, or, you have questions of how to be the best version of yourself, those older players definitely can help you in that regard and allow you to kind of get settled into the role that you need to be settled into.
Here is the quote. Carp kind of said the same thing that the organization and the coaching staff had been saying, do damage. Who said Burleson, who tied his previous career high of 8 home runs set in 2023 on June 4th and hit long balls number 11 and 12 on Saturday. My bat-to-ball skills with 2 strikes are pretty good, but it was different hearing the hitting advice from him, talking about Matt Carpenter. It was different hearing it from somebody who plays the game and has done it for a long time. It was nothing new, but it was different coming from a guy like that.
Yeah, so, Marsh, you and I talked about it in the office earlier today. It's, when he says he plays the game. And sometimes I think it gets overlooked. And it's not that managers who played the game or that they don't understand, how to coach or what's going on. But it is different when you have a guy that currently plays the game alongside you and can help you and walk you through certain things. We heard from Adam Wainwright before just about the pitchers watch each other's bullpens. And they talk about it. We just had a situation earlier this year where Kyle Gibson told Palante, what the hell are you doing? Work on
Why are you working on that?
Work on the stuff that you need to work on. So it's wild how this kind of works its way out. And I think that a guy that currently plays and is a leader in your locker room can be a big benefit for your team.
It definitely is. And I think the best coaches are the ones that, even if they haven't played, they allow you to kind of be the best version of yourself on the field or whatever it is. Like, they can talk to you, but you know what you're doing better than I do because I haven't done it at that level. But to have somebody, a left-handed bat and Matt Carpenter, you're both, seeing the pitches in the same way and talking to you and saying, hey, do what you came here to do. Do what they signed you to do. They didn't sign you. You're going to play every day if you do this, if you do these things. And so to hear that, it unlocks a level of confidence in you that allows you to go out there and perform at the highest level.
Yeah, and I think that's why when Matt Carpenter was initially signed, I shouldn't say initially, the reaction at first was, what the hell? But I think that after, when Mo kind of described what his vision was for a guy like Matt Carpenter, I think you could see it then. And knowing just how good of a guy Matt Carpenter is and how respected he is in that clubhouse, it's amazing what he can do. Look what he's doing for Alec Burleson. Just being there, just a little tidbit of information. And I know some people, you're blowing it up more than it is. But no, there's numerous small interactions like that happen in a clubhouse or in a locker room or on the plane, at the field, whatever it is, between veteran players and younger players. Sometimes veterans even helping other veterans out. At that point, they notice something. They see that you're off your game a little bit. They offer a little something, and it works.
It's no different from any other job where you may be new to a position and a person that's been there for years shows you an easier way to get the task done than you have been doing it. And you're like, oh, I can do that.
Or just an idea.
An idea, different, just giving you some help some kind of way. So it definitely has helped them. And Alec Burleson, I'm sure, is very thankful for Matt Carpenter being there to provide that information.
You don't think that diminishes what the coaching staff has to say, right?
Nope.
I'm sure there could be some people that go, why do you need the coaching staff? They haven't played. You know?
It adds value to what the coaches are saying, but it's coming from a different source.
And if it's a different take or different advice, the coach doesn't care.
No,
just get me wins.
A good coach doesn't. I've had some coaches that care. Oh, do it my way. Hey,
your way ain't working
for nobody, sir.
Yeah.
And if you're paying attention to this or not,
have you seen this?
The product
crap. Well, anyway, it's just a cool little story there. Matt Carpenter interacting with Alec Burleson, and Burley is playing really well. So good on both of those guys. It's that time of the day, guys. We're down to the end here. So when we come back, it's going to be Bet the Board, 3 stars of the day, criticism, compliments, and all that other stuff here on 101 ESPN. right, it's the last segment of the day here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Time for Bet the Board. Marshy, can we get an update, please? Although I really don't want to hear it at all, for that matter. Things are going the wrong way.
So, Jamie, you are still in the lead, 9-6. You have dropped 6 in a row, which is very impressive.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
Anthony is right behind you at 8-7. Carey is now 7-1, and I am now 7-8.
That one.
I'm in last place.
That one is going to bother me.
Yeah. All right, so my play first then, huh?
Yep.
I got the one. Oh, that was...
I'm going with the NHL tonight.
Surprise.
I was going to go with my Gorman guy because I got him picked for everything else. But
Why do you, what happened?
Well, because I picked Florida in 3. They won 3. They forgot to win the 4th one.
Okay.
Then I picked them in 5. And I feel now, like, last game of the season, like, I have to pick Florida. Like, I have to pick them to win tonight.
All right.
I'm so unsure of this entire game, but I feel like I need to pick them tonight. So I've got the Panthers. It's dead even.
That's what I was going to say.
It's minus
like
110. Minus 110. I'm going with the Panthers to win tonight.
All right.
Anthony is choosing the Cubs tonight. Cubs money line. So that is Anthony's Bet the Board pick. Carey, you're up next.
All right. I'm going to go. I got it last time. I was a little bit scary. I don't know if I should do it again. But I feel like empty net goals happen, especially when a team needs to win.
Oh,
so I'm going to go over again.
What is it at?
5.5.
That is risky.
It is, because it's plus 126.
Yeah. Woof. All right, Carey.
But he's going with the Bob pick, so we're going to get a goal here in the first 3 shots.
I have been thinking about this.
He's going with Bob.
I think the Florida Panthers are going to win this game.
Told you.
But I am rooting for history.
Oh.
Give me the Edmonton Oilers tonight.
Oh.
So I'm picking Sergei Bobrovsky to save the first 10 shots he faced at plus 110.
What a jerk.
If he doesn't do it, perhaps the Edmonton Oilers will make history tonight. If he does do it, I will be back to 500.
Wow.
He's going 4 games in a row.
He has to. He has to make a save.
He doesn't have
You
to.
don't have to save all 10.
Just
by
save
the way,
all 10.
How important,
and then I don't care what happens.
How important is the first goal tonight, by the way?
Whoever scores first?
Yeah.
Honestly, it could be the only goal. In a game like this, it could be the only goal
The
we
level
see.
of stress.
Panthers have been chasing the last, number of games.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a great feeling, man. First goal is going to be huge tonight.
I hope this game goes to overtime. I really
Marshy,
do.
we're up against it here, aren't
Yeah,
we?
let's just get to our 3 stars of the day before we get out of here. Our 3rd star of the day is going to go to the Platypus Trophy.
Yes.
Good answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oregon versus
Good
Oregon
answer.
State. Yep. Good answer.
2nd star goes to all of our listeners for sending us great mic drops today on whether or not Oli Marmol can win over this fan base. So shout out to all of our listeners.
Yes.
And our 1st star of the day, we mentioned it at the very beginning of the show. It goes out to Sergeant Grumpelstiltskin.
Yes. Carey Davis, our very own. All right, that's going to do it for us here today. We appreciate you listening again. If you missed anything, get on the 101 mobile app or the website. Download the podcast brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto. Please get home safely. Turn on that television tonight. Watch that Game 7, Oilers-Panthers. Going to be a heck of a game. And we'll be back here tomorrow with you at 2. So join us here in the Fast Lane tomorrow on 101 ESPN.